remember
actually
how
put it on the.
I started these podcasts.
What is up, everybody? I'm
Well,
Ryan.
I have the music,
All right, yeah, I want the music.
and then you came in.
Remember,
yeah.
Melina, get close.
Wait, you don't
We're gonna
remember
talk.
this?
I'm just nervous.
I'm Melina,
You don't hold your hand like this.
and
Yeah.
I'm a singer.
We should start like that. Start us. Hey!
What's up? What's good?
Your favorite podcast, say it with me now, is back.
For one episode.
Where's the hype?
I'm excited.
That's right, guys. You are watching episode 70. What do we call this? 72?
Let's call it 73. Just
Let's just say whatever.
Yeah.
Screw it. 80.
80.
Episode 80.
Welcome to episode 80,
Welcome to
everybody.
episode 80.
We might have missed a few
Oh,
in between.
here we
but
go. I forgot we did this. Moral Dilemma. And if you stop watching,
Wait, Ryan, it's that camera.
how's
Wait,
that?
No, actually,
That's his
it's that
camera.
camera.
Get out.
This is our camera.
Get out. So as you can see, nobody else wanted to do this except for me. So I have this knife. That's not true. But guys, we are back. My name is Ryan.
I'm Corey.
I'm Eric.
I'm Logan.
I'm Melina.
Is that a secret
A
guest?
girl.
Yeah.
Wait, where?
Have we had any girls on the podcast?
there
The
has
last
been.
girl we had on the podcast was Melina. The last episode we uploaded about a year ago.
She's the reason we stopped, actually.
Yeah.
So I've heard. I'm here to redeem myself.
Yeah. So if you guys don't know, Melina is Logan's really good friend.
That's what we said last time.
Yeah. Besties.
We're still
almost.
besties.
We're sisters.
Yeah.
But guys, we're here. I don't know how many people wanted us to come back, but
Probably just Liam.
yeah.
Shout out to the Liam.
Shout out to Liam Green because I know he's gonna be watching. But
And Logan. Logan would not get out of the group chat until we.
Oh,
did
we're going to
another
get into
podcast.
that. We're going to get into that. And I think that this probably is a good time because I've been a part of a podcast that stopped. Okay. And Eric
It didn't
still,
just stop. dude.
Eric
It
still
tanked.
has absolute. Okay. Okay.
still get
You
the
know what?
name wrong.
No.
Brush Buddies.
Eric still thinks we're called the bathroom pals or something. I don't know. But
Brush Bros. or
I've been in a podcast that we had we parted
How many
ways.
episodes did you have? Remind me.
We had five episodes. But you know what? You guys are all laughing at me.
No,
but
I
set
I'm
a
here for
reminder
it.
on my phone every month that I did not see a text from you guys. I would say something.
Mm-hmm.
I would bully somebody.
What you don't know is we
And we're
had a
back.
separate text thread.
Yeah,
without
what you don't know,
That's false.
We
is
had a
that-
separate podcast.
Yeah.
we actually started another podcast, and we're gonna right now watch all 80 episodes.
All right,
I
go
don't know
ahead
if
and bring
you've
it up,
heard of,
Adam.
I don't know if you've heard of the Joe Rogan podcast, but that is us now.
No, but I'm glad that we were able to keep this puppy going. Mm-hmm. Because
It
I've
is good to be
been
back.
to one podcast funeral and it wasn't fun.
Let me tell you. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie. Let's get into this. Why haven't we been here? I'll start. As you can see, we don't have. We don't have art.
I love how you ask a question and you answer it. You don't give it your.
He was so
All right,
he
all right,
wanted to
I'm
get
sorry,
into
I'm sorry.
this.
Let's get into it. Here we go. So as you can see, we don't have our table anymore. Because there was
Try to be fresh.
a fire.
Something new. Don't lie.
We lost our table and then we lost the podcast.
We needed supplies for an arc.
Yeah, we
Do
started.
you know that table was
started
actually
building.
my old desk?
Really,
Yeah.
dude.
May it rest in peace.
Didn't you refinish
Yeah.
it?
What do you
Adam?
guys
I
think?
it's
Oh, I
outside
refinished.
the
What do you guys
hallway.
think of this new
it's
setup?
sitting outside in the hallway right now.
That's
I
cool.
feel a little naked. Is what
Really?
I'll be honest.
I do
with
feel a
you.
little exposed.
Yeah.
Like,
I
look
feel
up-
like do my knees look good?
Thank
Wait,
goodness you got
stop.
that half of
Listen,
it.
nobody move right now. Nobody move right now. Just look at how everyone's sitting right now. Do we look comfortable?
This feels comfortable.
My left thumb is inside of my shoe right now, and I'm not sure why.
I'm extremely
I'm
comfortable.
also facing directly across from Melina, and I feel like I'm kind of interviewing her. Like,
is this like a
social
good.
distance
Ask me anything.
interviewed. But yeah.
So Ryan, are you
So,
going to
why
answer the
haven't we been
question?
here?
Oh yes. Well, I think we just got busy. I got busy. Eric got busy a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Sooner.
you know, when
Eric
you go
had kind
from-
of was gone already.
well, being a senior pastor, I think that's kind
Lead
of
pastor.
Lead.
lead pastor.
You're welcome.
You're the senior lead pastor.
Oh,
Yeah.
just call me lead pastor.
We can
I
just
like
call you
that.
senior.
Technically, because God owns the church, you're technically assistant to the senior
Yeah.
lead pastor.
I like that.
Jesus' little intern.
Yeah.
That's what we call him.
Jesus.
Never been called little. I appreciate
Let me
it.
call you Jesus Big Intern.
I remember that one day when we were in the grocery store with Adam, and he said, "Hey, no problem, looking big guy." Do you remember that?
Do you remember that?
This massive guy came up to Adam in the grocery store and said, "Hey, don't worry about it, big guy." And we just
Yeah.
looked at Adam and just laughed. I don't know why it was so
No,
funny.
it was like the three of us at Walmart, and this huge guy almost ran into you, and he said, "Ooh, heads up, big guy," to you, and he was like 7 feet tall.
I don't remember
Anyway,
that.
but yeah, I think Eric got busy, Corey got busy. Corey's married,
filing
Logan's
for
married,
workers'
and he
comp.
moved. And yeah, it just happened.
What? Why? What about you? What happened to you?
I started youth stuff. Really got
Yeah.
So
Ryan
Sleepy
started
guy
some
after
pretty
youth.
heavy drug
yeah,
use.
I went through a big drug episode.
I've not been any more busy.
That's not true.
I can't just show up unless the
can.
podcast
Well, you
is
could
happening.
if you wanted.
Well, you
to.
were written out of the show a long time ago because Dan had done more episodes than you did.
That's true.
That's a fact.
It was definitely a distance problem.
But
for
you can't erase history.
That's
Okay?
right.
Amen.
Yeah. But we
For
thought
me, it's the gender problem. I'm only allowed in October. So here I am.
We have one female
We have
in
a-
October
We have to.
every year.
We have to meet
hit
a
our quota.
Yeah, we did.
we have to meet a quota to make sure we're not sexist.
We actually got heavily sued by an outside third party,
Yeah.
and we had to have Melina on just to check the box.
yeah.
Basically,
Melina's
the
our
court
lawyer.
ruled once a year. Once a year, we picked October.
Yeah.
It seemed a little spooky to have a girl on, so
I'm terrified.
Halloween month makes sense.
Yeah. But we thought it'd be good to get the OG 3 back and Logan. And we got Fatima Arnsworth back there.
Dude, how am I?
Running the
how's it
soundboard.
OG
Hit us with the
3?
sound. He's still. Oh my gosh, that was so loud.
Scared the crap.
It scared
I
me.
wasn't ready.
I do want to tell a story though, because for the longest time, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I thought we were done.
Really?
I thought so.
Was you crying
That's
about it?
spooky.
I'll be
And
honest.
It wasn't like I wanted to be done. It was a it's like, yeah, maybe that's just, time has passed, new era. But I was flying to Connecticut, and I got on the plane. I had all these good albums downloaded. I was pumped. I was jazzed. I think I had Post Malone's country album on there, which would have been great. But none of it downloaded.
How's that rate with Beyonce's?
I have never in my life listened to a Beyonce album, which reminds me, there's some crazy Beyonce conspiracies going on. Are you a Beyonce guy?
That's what I'm shocked
Pastor
about. It
Eric
came from
listening to
Aaron.
Queen Bee.
Eric's like,
asking.
if you don't mind me asking, how does the
I
rank
just
against
heard that she had
Beyonce's?
an album, and I just wondered if you listened to it.
We could listen to it after this. But I was on that flight, and the only thing I had on my phone was an episode of Moral Dilemma. And I
Really?
listened to it, and I was like, this is special.
Yeah.
This
Do you
is
want to
special.
talk about how we started?
We could.
Yeah.
We could. Have we ever talked about? I'm sure we did.
I think
Yeah,
we
we
have.
have.
Yeah.
yeah.
But just
Well,
a
it started with
refresher.
Corey.
Yeah, Corey had to go to Columbus.
Corey, take us back in time.
So we had to go.
No, start earlier than that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Take us way back.
in December
No,
of
go early.
1995,
No, a little earlier.
earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, so when my mom met my dad.
A little earlier.
Okay, a little sooner.
We're going back to Genesis. Okay.
Oh, okay. In the
No, we can
beginning,
go a little bit before that.
a little before Genesis.
Give us some of that lore.
It's like the Silmarillion.
It might be a little blasphemous if we get there.
All right, go ahead and fast forward to the car again.
Okay, that makes sense.
I just realized we still have a
I can't. Do you guys remember why I had to go to Columbus?
You had to do something with your apartment.
It was ants.
Yeah, didn't you have an ant problem at your apartment?
Your
You needed
aunt
to
was in
check
your
something?
apartment, and you needed to get her out.
Like your biological aunt.
yeah.
There was something you needed to do with your
Yeah.
apartment.
So I had moved to Columbus for school, and for some reason I was back home. I had to go up to my apartment. We got to talking one day at church. Decided to make a road trip out of it.
Yeah.
I think it was your idea. You wanted to film some like location stuff
Well,
for
at that
church.
time, because we were doing devotionals on the.
We went to the
on-
courthouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a devotion.
And we held
Ryan
hands.
Sang some music at a rest stop,
Yeah.
and so we had a lot of fun. Actually, I did 2 devotions. I did one in front of the government building,
Yeah.
right, and then we did one at the park.
I think there was
the-
something pretty big going on. I can't remember what it was too, but we decided to like not only do the devotion there, but I think we prayed in front of the.
Well, it was COVID, I think, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what COVID
it
was
was.
happening. Yeah, that's why we did the devotions online, because we didn't have a lot of things happening throughout the week, so we had devotions
Yeah.
each night.
Corey, do you remember how good your apartment smelled? Do you remember that?
Just in general?
No, dude, you had this scent. I don't remember what it was, but dude, take me back.
That was a good apartment. I got a
awkward.
steal on that
It was.
apartment.
Oh my gosh.
You know, it was a little spicy. You remember that smell?
That was the first
don't.
time I went dumpster diving too.
Yeah, we got those stools.
We did.
We could have got a mattress.
Yeah, I think that's kind of how. Yeah,
We weren't sure what all happened on
I
that.
think that's kind of how the podcasting
It's a little
started
suspicious.
because we were throwing out trash at Corey's apartment, and there were three. What color were they?
Black.
Three
Stools.
black stools that were just laying next to the dumpster. We were like, we should take these stools. That'd be crazy. And then I think in the car ride,
Guys are nuts.
we were like,
Yeah, it was wild.
we were crazy back then, guys. And yeah, here we are.
Stealing
what-
dumpsters.
What's really cool is we were talking and we were having a good time, just having a conversation on the way back. I just remember just throwing out that idea. Wouldn't it be cool to have a podcast and we just talk? And then it was like, hey, why not? And then, of course, Logan was my intern.
And you felt bad
And,
for him, right?
Yeah, I felt
Yeah.
bad for him.
He
I
wasn't
included
doing
in the
well.
group. Well, I mean,
He's struggling.
I wanted
Yeah,
to
he had
boost
to
his
get hours in.
self-confidence. You know, every person needs a little boost in their life.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And
There's a lot of
it's
abuse
like
in that
you
internship.
with music. I mean, remember back when you were the shy kid, not wanting
Yeah,
to play in front of people.
Eric is really good at just peer pressuring people through the Holy Spirit.
That's the key, right?
is.
The Holy
It's-
Spirit has
yeah.
to
Is Eric this generation's version of a judge?
Like a Bible judge?
I'm gonna start calling you Ehud.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's not left-handed.
Ehud.
Well, hopefully I don't do things that's right in my own eyes. So I hopefully seek God. I don't. Some of the judges in the book of Judges weren't always like up on the up and up.
No, you don't want to be a judge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyhow, it was really cool to kind of get. And that's how we got Adam involved. And think about this. That's what's cool about vision and ideas when you think about it, because Adam got involved and has done a lot of the media stuff for the church now because
Yeah.
this podcast. So this was
Actually,
a lot of trial and
First,
error.
it was the Tomorrow Show.
It was. Yeah, it was always trying to do
Which maybe
some
that'll
type
make an
of-
appearance next.
Which then I guess it
Yeah.
goes back to me and Eric doing the Eric and Eric Tyler.
Right.
It does.
Where nothing
Whoa, 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 whoa.
significant happens.
Let's not forget about one more thing, okay?
That's exactly right.
I was the
Nothing-
co-host in one
that's-
more thing.
One more thing.
That's
I remember
it.
Yeah, that was good. But the Eric and Eric
Yeah,
tirade is what
where
kicked us.
nothing significant happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
And
awesome.
and that made a huge impact, obviously, because I still remember the catchphrase.
And now Corey's a lawyer.
Remember that we did that show and it was basically me and Eric just saying, let's do an announcement in a fun way. We were just wanting
Yeah.
to do like the announcements, and I think the teens like stared at it like, what in the world is this?
Well, and that's how Ryan and I approached it. We wanted to do the same thing, but we
Ryan.
couldn't copy and paste it.
Yeah.
We had to kind of come up with our unique thing, and we were doing a lot more video
Yeah.
style stuff, and so we played into that.
Yeah, we were doing more of a radio broadcast type thing. That's what
But
we-
you had that you had a cool idea because you took that giant on the shoulder camera and like stuck it up in the corner, like it's like
Yep.
a corner camera or something like that. That was how you guys did it. Pretty neat.
Yep.
Look at us now. Also,
But that's
I'd like
what's-
to note that this setup makes me feel like I need to put my left arm around Corey. There's nothing crazy going on. You all right with this?
Yeah, I think
So
I mean, I'm fine.
now you guys have said your piece about it. I wanted to approach this coming back episode in a unique way by changing the set, adding
Look at
two
all this
more
leg room.
cameras.
So much room for activities.
I had to amp it up a little
I could
bit.
sit on the floor if I wanted to.
Can we do that? Like Peter's old class?
Yeah, like Kingdom Chronicles.
If I get on the floor right now, I probably won't get out of it.
Yeah.
Well, then I'll just see your head.
I have a question for you, Eric. How let's be realistic here. How smoothly do you think you could go from your chair to the ground?
Zero.
Because I don't know if I could.
He said how smoothly, and you said 0 chance. So probably not good.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Zero chance. Guys, I fell in the shower the other day.
Yeah. Did you?
Yeah, it just reminded me of that. It was bad. Really slick.
There was this one time I fell in the bathtub
Really?
when my Xavier was in the bathtub.
Wait,
He was taking. Yeah,
You
we
were-
had one bathroom. Okay, he was in the bathtub.
Okay.
and he was taking a bath, and somehow I slipped by the toilet,
I
fell
thought you-
backwards
I thought you
into the
slipped-
bathtub.
Fell
I'm
into
like,
the
hey there,
bathtub."
son.
Hey, buddy.
I thought you slipped in the bathtub with Xavier.
Well, Xavier was in the bathtub.
I thought you were in the bathtub with Xavier.
No,
Oh.
no.
Man.
Thank you for clarifying that story so it's accurate. No, he was taking a shower. The what is it? The
Curtain.
Curtain was
curtain's
closed.
Yeah.
And I just went in to go to the bathroom, and then somehow I fell.
Yeah.
It's like slow motion.
Dude, I'm sure
And you
there
guys
was.
already know
Hey,
I
you're
can't jump.
chipping your Krabby Patty.
Oh, you already know I can't jump in video games. So what do you think I can do in real life?
I'm sure you're a
Not
pretty
much.
mean platformer. in
Dude,
real
there's
life.
nothing more vulnerable than falling in a shower.
Yeah.
You slide around naked. Yeah, that's a good time.
It's slippery.
It's a bit slippery, isn't it?
It's slippery. He says.
I don't know. I think it was a little more vulnerable for me. You remember when I had to shower when I had the broken leg in
Yeah.
college?
And
That was like
Ryan had to hold your leg outside.
Basically.
no. So
Oh.
Ryan had this little tiny metal stool that I stole from because I didn't have a. We had these little tiny shower stalls.
Can I tell about
at
why I
school.
had that stool?
Yeah, that's fine. You can start
So
with that
just
if you want.
for preface, Corey went down a water slide.
Wait,
Junior year of college.
I thought you were talking about why you had
Yeah, I'm
the
leading up to
stool.
it. I'm leading up to it.
okay, build up.
And he broke his ankle in half, really bad. And so he was basically had one leg on our second floor dorm room that was about the size of one of the bathrooms here at church. And I had to kind of help him. But
you were very gracious.
I remember that
will-
year I
will
was
say.
like, I want to play guitar more, and so I brought a stool that I could use to play my guitar on because it didn't have arms on it. And then Corey, you can continue.
Oh yeah, so I stole it because we had these little tiny standing showers that were like, I mean, with guys our size, you're literally like shoulders are touching the walls.
Yeah.
There's no space. I had to sit to shower because my leg was broken. So I had this whole thing rigged up, and we had like shared showers where there were like 16 guys shared these 4 showers. We had like a combined bathroom. Oh yeah, I was in Waller.
times.
So whenever I had to shower, I would take this little metal stool in there. I couldn't keep the curtain shut, so if anyone came in, I'm just like sitting on the stool, naked in the shower with my leg hanging out. So that was
Yeah, good
more
times.
vulnerable for me, I think.
Yeah,
But
Corey got intimate with that stool.
yeah, so Ryan told me I could keep it. He
Yeah.
said
You still
when
have that
he's-
stool?
No, I don't.
man.
I don't know what happened to it. But he did for
let's
some
bring it
reason
back.
after I started showering on it, he didn't want to play
He didn't
guitar
want
on it
He didn't
anymore.
want it anymore.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Oh, that was a special stool.
I know.
It was.
I thought it meant something to both of us, but apparently it didn't.
It was a special time.
But you're saying that, but you're the one that got rid of it.
I think I gave it back to him, and then he said
I like this sticker.
that I could keep it. Thank
Oh.
you.
Okay.
I don't think that's a sticker.
Okay.
Oh,
Are we gonna talk about my diabetes equipment? Is that what's going on?
that's a perfect segue into what we're talking about
Should we
today.
should talk about the
Yeah, I was
Krabby
about
Patty?
to say we're sitting here with
I'm getting
Krabby-
tired of this Krabby Patty on my.
Guys, we went to Wendy's before this,
Krabby
and
Patty.
we got the Krabby Patty. Rev up those fryers.
sharing
So
this?
we're gonna try it.
Are we gonna try it all
before
together?
we get into this, I'm gonna do a little sniff.
Oh my god.
I just smell a strong smell of onion.
Dude, this might be mayonnaise.
I just saw Eric take a little lick. Whoa!
Logan, I think it's more of like a Thousand Island thing, like a Big Mac sauce. I was looking at it. I don't think it's
There's no way to
mayonnaise.
fit 1,000 Islands.
Thousand
in this
Island's
one
good.
All
patty.
right, should we try a small bite or a big bite?
I'm just gonna commit because I'm a little nervous. But let's get into it.
All right.
Okay, for those listening, they're all taking a bite.
I'm sure it tastes better if it was warm.
It tastes like a Wendy's cheeseburger.
Yeah, I'm getting nothing. I don't actually taste anything.
Are you okay, Corey?
Corey?
Yeah, I'm fine.
went
Everyone
silent.
took small bites. I ate the entire thing.
Oh, look, everyone thought Corey was choking.
No, I wasn't choking.
Yeah,
I
it's
just
decent.
didn't want to laugh with an entire mouthful of hamburger. It is a
I
little
got
cold.
That's
like
pretty
a
mint.
large piece of lettuce, so I'm kind of trying to figure out how to navigate that.
Yeah.
It-
Hey, we're here for you as you try to navigate that.
I don't know.
You go on that journey.
I don't know about you guys, but it just kind of tastes like a basic cheeseburger.
Yeah,
And
I don't know about you
It's
guys.
the basic
But
cheeseburger.
it kind of tastes like a basic cheeseburger.
I think you're right. I think the sauce tastes a little bit like Thousand Island, but not quite. The
it's
same.
it's not enough. I don't know if they mixed it with something else. Probably
They
mayonnaise.
watered it down.
Were Krabby Patties really made out of hamburger, or were they made out of something?
Uh-oh.
No, so that's a whole other conspiracy. If you
That's
pay
plankton.
if
I
you
think
pay
I'm starting
attention
like this
to
Krabby Patty.
if you pay attention to SpongeBob
like
lore,
Tom
there's a
Lawrence.
conspiracy going around right now that Mr. Krabs actually used crab meat even though he's a crab himself.
Also known as Crete.
And that's why there's no other crabs in the show.
Can we get a fact check on that?
Yeah, Adam.
No, this is a current conspiracy.
Can you type in Crete?
There's like
Because
something.
he ate them?
K-R-E-A-T.
No, he never ate them.
Do you realize how many conspiracies there are?
Are you
out
thinking
there?
of creatine?
No, Crete.
Oh yeah,
Crab meat.
there's conspiracies about everything. Ryan could really tell you
Yeah.
about our fake flat Earth society in college.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Or our compound we're starting?
Adam, could you
That's
just
a different
search
story.
Crete, K-R-E-A-T? I'm just curious. Jamie, can you pull it up?
What is it?
K-R-E-A-T.
Crete.
It's the, yeah, just,
I think it was a
Just
little
type that in.
overrated. I don't know how.
yeah, see, that's what I
rated it was.
thought.
Yeah, that's
It's
what we were thinking about.
Crete. The Crete group.
Hey, I had an idea.
Yeah.
Should since it's been a while, should we go around and talk about something we're all like big into these days?
That is,
This is Logan's plan segue.
To our
Plans-
sponsor, Squarespace.
trumpet fact?
Can we get
No, I don't have one.
I'll start.
With a trumpet fact?
No.
Hit it. What is up, everybody? I am Ryan.
Welcome to Trumpet Facts.
Did you know that the harder you blow into a trumpet, the nastier it sounds?
Did you know that most trumpets are made out of brass?
Watch your language.
Adam, you have a trumpet fact? You're a fellow trumpeter.
No.
No, I don't have one. You guys have said a lot.
Let's talk about our top 5 favorite trumpet players.
Um,
No, I'm kidding. I think it is a good idea to go through a rec. Because we got to figure out what we're into these days. Because this podcast started off basically about video games, TV shows.
so maybe like, what's your new biggest
can
like
I-
free time thing? Like, what's your like? What are you really into?
You guys have free
What are you
time?
wasting your life on?
Can
I have a lot.
Eric, I would love you
Selling
to
you
start.
things,
Well,
Also, I'd like to know,
we let
Eric
Logan.
just took his lid off his Winnie's cup, and he's going no straw, no lid.
dude. No straw.
Love that.
Well, I don't like putting
Eric-
myself
Eric.
in the face.
I have a.
Zoom in on that.
Shout out to Jeff Harberson.
I really want that footage.
I have a question, Eric,
Complicated.
because the fans don't know this, but before the podcast started, you told me you mixed Diet Pepsi and Diet Dr Pepper in that cup. Can
Yeah, I
you
did.
tell me what that tastes like?
It actually tastes pretty good.
Is it? Does
It's
it?
got a little more of a Pepsi flavor because I put a lot more Pepsi in it than I
Yeah.
did Dr Pepper. But
Like, oh,
It's diet
more of a
Dr. Pepper.
Pepsi flavor.
Is it just like a nice
I think it's
subtle
something like this,
hint
Pepsi.
of Dr Pepper?
Yeah.
Okay. I was wondering how that was going to turn out for
23
you.
Flavors
I just
of
realized we have
Dr.
2
Pepper.
camera angles.
We have 3.
3? Where? I didn't consent to a third.
Technically,
I didn't
4
see that
if we're
guy.
talking
There's-
about a Holy Father.
There's actually a 5th hidden one after the 4th in my glasses.
Corey, do you want to talk about what you're into?
Eric's going to start us.
Eric, tell us
Unless
what you're
it
into
was
these days.
drinking
So, no.
with no lid.
What I like is right now is like retro games. So I'm putting a lot of builds together of all these retro games. So I have like 5 or 6 hard drives full of all these retro games that I've like gone back and just cataloged and put videos with, and
Your basement's kind of like the Smithsonian
yeah,
of
I
video
have
games.
a little bit of collection of video games,
Do you think it's safe to
and
say?
I've realized that newer video games just aren't as good.
Eric, I have a
They're
question.
just basic, like
Have you ever heard people say that they'll do the whole retro gaming like streaming route but they'll only get games that they've physically owned at some point? Have you
No,
heard
I
about
just
them?
want to own them all.
You don't care. You don't care about the whole.
Gotta
like-
collect them all.
Dude, well, at
Gotta
this
catch 'em all.
point,
It's like Pokemon.
if they're not selling them,
yeah.
Well, that's the thing. If you can't buy it, then where's your avenue to play or access that game?
Yeah.
Like old arcade systems, you can't get those nowadays.
So Eric, are you the PlayStation Premium market then?
Actually, what I do is I have. This is the funny thing that I've talked about in this podcast before. I'm already paid up till 2027 on PlayStation Plus.
Does that
on the
affect you
premium.
though? Because now there's different tiers.
that's impressive.
No, I was able to get locked into the premium tier at the basic level because I jumped into the beginning of the tier. So I had all my PlayStation Plus already built in until 2027. So I already have that.
Early adopter.
And then I have 2027 for Xbox Game Pass.
So wait, so you have the premium tier till 2027?
Yeah.
Sorry, Corey.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Can I have your login?
Eric,
And what's sad is I don't have time to play with it, or do much.
I have a
with it.
Well,
question.
that's the beauty of retro games, though. I feel like a lot of them are. That's the point of a retro game because they're originally developed to where you stick a quarter in, you can only play for
Yeah.
like rounds are short. So I feel like
Well,
that's
like
perfect for you.
nowadays with
quarter.
technology, you can have saves to save your place. You know.
Yeah.
But I feel like retro gaming is perfect for you right
Yeah.
now.
I have a question for
Like
you.
I'm
Eric.
right now playing Time Splitters too a lot.
What is your
Ooh,
What is
yeah.
your
the original
favorite
Time Splitters?
generation? Like favorite console generations to play, like emulate?
Let's see.
Because Time Splitters is what, Xbox,
No, it was Xbox, but PS2 is what I'm playing on.
PS2, like an
PlayStation.
emulator.
I have a for PS2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think my favorite overall, probably the PlayStation 2 is probably one of my favorite.
People say that is the best route to do. What's the word?
Emulation.
Emulation for.
Yeah.
PlayStation 2 is like what everyone craves.
Yeah, it's really good. GameCube has really gotten to play Streamcast.
Mm-hmm.
Really, that whole generation right
Yeah.
there was really
'Cause
good with the.
I
video
basically
games.
bought a Steam Deck just to emulate PS2 games, and it's impressive. I started playing
You can do really
Silent Hill
good-
2.
Oh, sorry.
Silent Hill 2. You ever play that?
Yeah,
I started playing that on my Steam Deck, PS2.
that's cool.
What year did that come out? That's for like 2000s. correct?
1963, I think.
I think that's like a 2000 game, right?
Yeah, it was like probably 2000.
Yeah, that's kind of like
2003.
my main hobby is. I don't get a chance to do it very much, but I just like to go in and for a little bit game. It's like nostalgia.
Yeah.
I'd love to go back and play some of the old Final Fantasy games, but I don't have the time to
Yeah.
do that. But
So you
I
mainly
used to
just like picking up a game, playing it for a little bit, and then stopping, or are you
to
trying
be
to
honest
beat
with
anything?
you, there was times where I did skip school to play Final Fantasy.
Dude, that's
And when I was
hardcore.
in,
Which
that,
one?
that was a Nintendo, so that was the original Final Fantasy.
Oh wow.
If you
So-
were to give me one to just drop in and play for my first one, what would you say?
Oh well, I'd say 7's a good choice, but I really like 9 too. I think
Yeah.
Final Fantasy
PS2?
9 is really good.
Yeah.
That's a PlayStation. On
Yeah, you're right.
the original PlayStation
Yeah.
was Final
You
Fantasy.
can emulate
9.
it pretty
I have not played Final Fantasy, but it's a
I kinda
little
like
overwhelming.
Final Fantasy 10 was good too.
Mm-hmm. Final Fantasy 7 would be cool for a first time. That was my first one, and then I went straight into the remake.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. Melina loves Final Fantasy 7. What's your
yeah.
what's your characters? What was your favorite character again? I can't remember.
She doesn't know.
Sheila.
Sheila. And you know what's crazy? Sheila reminds me a lot of you, Melina.
Well, you can
Yeah.
name the
Thank you.
characters what you want, so she could be technically correct.
That's true.
Yeah, I hear it's good to. It's easy to emulate.
Dude, well, good job.
Yeah, I heard that's pretty
So
easy to.
I will say this: I've got
generate.
4 computers that I can run emulators on.
Dude,
I have this
you
small
dog.
little old workstation that I use for upstairs, and then I have 3 computers downstairs. My one that I was a computer custom build that I made, and then 2 other computers that I've created.
What a nerd.
I actually need
I
your
know.
Hey,
computer
watch
building
it.
expertise, so we'll have to talk off
Watch
the
it in
podcast.
30 cameras.
Hey, that's a compliment nowadays.
30
man.
cameras.
It's true. Yeah.
So is that your big? That's what you're into?
Yeah, I'd say. Other
Mm-hmm.
than that, ministry, I guess.
Cool.
Ministry?
What would you?
Love that game.
Yeah. It's like Clue.
Corey, you up?
Corey, what have you
Sure,
been into?
I can go. I feel like so far we're kind of talking about nostalgic things. Eric is, talked about his emulation and playing old games. I've kind of been doing something very similar.
Similar.
So
Dressing up like a baby.
I only do
Have you
that
went
on
back to-
Saturdays.
Have you went back to knitting?
I've actually been wearing the clothes I wore when I was 7 years old to work.
No, I actually am going back to the time when I wasn't a diabetic and pretending I'm not.
Oh,
So, no, actually, in my free time, about 2 weeks ago, I started playing Clash of Clans again on my phone. So
I never got into it, but I know a lot of people play that.
Clash of Clans.
So I periodically do that. Other than that, Ryan and I started Thursday night game nights where we play Fortnite.
Intentional game night.
Intentional game night.
That's a little
Screenshot
weird.
that and send that to
Yeah.
me.
I can't even get him to go to the
Katniss-
gym with me.
Katniss
Yeah.
and PETA.
So
Hey, I'm sorry.
I feel really comfortable saying this because I know Gabby's not going to watch it. For those of you
What?
who don't know, Gabby's my wife. I was talking to someone about how busy I was feeling, and they were like, you need to make an intentional night for yourself.
Yeah.
And so I was like, that makes a lot of sense because I'm like working all the time, or me and Gabby are doing something, never really doing anything for myself.
Just you, Gabby, and the cats.
So I use that as an excuse to play video games with Ryan.
Heck yeah.
So I phrased it as I'm trying to make an intentional night for myself.
Hey, it's always a good
But
time.
now on Thursdays we play Fortnite. So
W.
yeah,
On
so
most Thursdays.
most Thursdays.
Some Thursdays we
I
miss.
play every Thursday. Ryan's missed 2 of the Thursdays since we started. So,
I got a lot going on.
Keeping your
Flake.
end of the bargain.
and I will
I am a
say,
flake.
I will preface it by saying Ryan was the one that picked Thursday. He
Yeah.
said Thursday was his best day.
Thursday is my best day.
Is Thursday your Sabbath?
Thursday is my Sabbath.
It's the Fortnite
It
Sabbath.
actually is close. I don't have anything after work on Thursdays usually. The last few
Yeah.
times though. Actually, this Thursday,
You got something
I
Thursday?
got something. I'm sorry, man.
Rats.
Hey,
If I played Fortnite, I'd
It's okay. We can play something else.
dude, I think
Apex.
I think you'd like Fortnite.
I still
play
have
Apex.
Apex.
You still
I'm
ripping
really
Apex?
bad
Oh,
at it
yeah.
because I haven't played in forever. But
Yeah.
Maybe we get Logan and
Lane.
Lane to help us out. Sorry.
Lane
Lane.
Lane brings that story up every now and then when I see him. And
What? You 3 played Apex together?
yeah.
Oh, we had a great time.
It was my roommate going through his ministry degree.
Oh,
And
is
we're like-
that the? Come on, one more time, one
yeah,
more game.
so like
Is it that
in
one?
our
That
dorm
story?
room, I'm sitting right next to Lane in our dorm playing Apex with Eric, associate pastor at the time. And Lane and I are playing, and it's getting late. Lane's like, "Oh man, I got class tomorrow. I got this
Old Testament.
I got Old Testament. I got class coming up, and I got this big exam." And Eric's like, "One more game. One more game." We snowballed into like 3 or 4 more. Next morning, he did not go. So Eric literally got this full-time ministry student to just skip Old Testament class to play
Is he
Apex.
serving a church right now, or where is he in life?
He's going to church. He's actually the director at the sports director at a YMCA.
Oh, wow,
right now.
that's cool.
Dude, Eric's always so good at get people to play one more game. See, I've tried
One
it
more.
because now it's kind of. I feel like I've kind of gotten to the point now where, because I remember when I was in youth, it was Destiny. Like after youth,
Just saying,
we'd
that
hop
word
on
brings
Destiny.
so much nostalgia.
And I would play Destiny with Eric, who was my youth pastor, and Adam, who
And I was
was
slowing
my
you
youth
guys
pastor.
down.
And it would be a Sunday night, school bright and early morning, and Eric would be like, "Come on, guys, just one more." Like he'd get so serious about it.
no, it's like one more raid,
so-
which is like an hour of your life.
Let's try it again.
Eric would
Let's
get-
try it again.
Eric will get so serious about it that I'm like, shoot, if I don't do this, like, it might affect me somehow, like in a bad way.
Like you're gonna be
No,
out
no,
of the
no.
youth
I've
group.
learned
know
you
if-
just say no, Eric, and just go on.
Yeah, but that's no fun. But now I feel like I'm doing that with
Tell him
teens
no.
in the youth group now. Like with Fortnite, I've
You're
yeah,
carrying the tradition
like
on.
come on guys, just one more. Come on, don't let me down.
Yeah.
But yeah, Fortnite has been fun.
Boy, me and Eric and Cody had a great time. We
Halo.
laughed so hard.
Yeah,
Dang, your headphones are hanging on for their life. There you go.
mine's.
Yeah, mine were slipping off my head.
Ryan, what are you into?
Oh man, what am I into? I'm into snowboarding a lot, actually.
That's Cap.
No, I'm not. I've actually been
Snowcat.
big into podcasts recently, which sounds super lame, but
You know what we should do is build an indoor facility.
for snowboarding,
Yeah,
let's do it.
That
Why
came
not?
out of nowhere.
be a great church ministry
That'd be
thing.
cool. What would that look like, though?
I don't know, but let's
It
try.
would look a lot like indoor snowboarding to me.
It would be.
is it kind of like one of those surf machines that they have?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Or are you talking about
No
like
one
a
wins
mountain
those.
inside?
no, like that.
Yeah.
You know?
I would like to preface I have never snowboarded in my life, but
Well,
this
you
could be
threw
the
it out
opportunity.
there.
Yeah.
What podcast are you listening to?
Yeah, what podcast? Snowboarding.
Oh man.
How to snowboard.
I'm
It's
listening
Shaun
to.
We're related
I'm listening
him.
to a lot of
Really?
Ninjas or Butterflies. Shout out my homies. Hope you're okay from the hurricane.
Oh, I didn't.
But
think
I
about
remember, I think the last episode we did a year ago, I just started listening to them because they just started their podcast.
Oh yeah, and you fell hard.
And yeah, like Adam had his Gaborum thing, still does. Mine was Ninjas or Butterflies.
No, Gaborum's shut down.
Gaborum got shut down.
Well,
We'll
yeah,
talk about it later.
Yeah,
It
we'll
sounds.
talk about it
It
later.
sounds.
that. Oh, we'll talk about that.
It was. It's fine.
We'll talk
It's
about that
not-
at the gym tomorrow.
No more movies.
No, yeah, wasn't right. God's timing.
Yeah.
Are
Did
you
you
going? Are you still going to the gym with me at
Was
9
that his
tomorrow?
pyramid scheme?
Yes, no pyramid
It's a
scheme.
pyramid
Anyway.
scheme. Yeah, Adam gave all his money to.
No.
No. But yeah, Ninjas, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts. Ninjas and Butterflies is a big one. It's cool because both of the guys are Christians. They work for, it started off as a t-shirt company that one of the guys' dads owned. And then one of the hosts in the podcast started like a media thing. Kind of has vibes of like how this stuff started. Because like we didn't really have media stuff and like a few
Yeah.
people were into it.
Well,
And
that's what
then
I was saying.
Leadership
It's
was like, hey, just
do you realize
go
the
for it.
impact of our podcast has kind of cultivated this
Yeah, it's cool.
environment for us to try things?
yeah.
I mean, all we wanted to do was a podcast, and Adam's like, "Oh, I can set up a camera."
Yeah, exactly.
We
Yeah.
do both, audio and
But
video.
I think that's why I like Ninjas and Butterflies so much because it reminds me so much of like
It's like innocence,
Well,
like a child.
it was crazy because like it's so similar to like stuff that I was into at the time, and like they were talking about how like we just want to start a podcast and like they just made it work and I don't know, I think it's cool.
I'll have to check them out. Are they clean?
Oh yeah, they're clean,
Oh, yeah.
family friendly. It's
A lot of
all conspiracy
conspiracies.
theories,
Oh, jeez.
but
They're
dude,
Christians.
yeah,
Are they Christians?
yeah,
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good.
they're really big
What
into
are they
like
called? What's this
ninjas
thing?
or butterflies.
They're called
Ninjas
Christians,
or
like-
butterflies.
Ninjas are
It's-
butterflies.
it's good stuff.
Ninjas
Eric.
are butterflies.
It's good stuff. Ninjas are butterflies.
Okay.
Hey, did he
Yeah.
ever pass that kidney stone he had?
He did
He
pass
was
that
hurting
kidney
pretty
stone.
hard.
Yeah.
I was running when I was listening to that.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh my gosh.
I got so into it. I'm on their Patreon.
What's
So
that
I
mean?
pay
See,
month-
he's
I-
paying.
I pay monthly to get extra stuff.
Why are you paying for
Who's on our
us?
Patreon?
What?
Yeah.
Dude, Melina,
Yeah.
you want to start our Patreon?
Yeah, we can
account?
start a Patreon.
Okay.
Melina's a
And an
marketing-
Instagram.
Well, that
Melina's
includes
Corner.
you.
Yeah,
We-
you're gonna
we
be
have
our
an
marketing
Instagram, I think.
person.
Dude, when we're back, when we're closer one day, Melina should definitely do our social media.
Yeah.
You should do it now.
Yeah.
Bet. I've been taking pictures this whole
You know
time.
what we could
I
do
think
is
we have an
just
Instagram.
We do.
Isabella was doing it.
re-air our
I need to look
she
for it.
was.
Yeah, you could go in. And
I
you
can send them to Isabella.
You can cut reels from this.
Do you realize that my daughter would actually write down the notes of our podcast? And she gave me this folder. and, like,
I shared it
I
with
felt
her.
bad
That's
for it because she
incredible.
wrote down all these notes and never
Taking
used them
no-
really.
Yeah, that's.
And then we just let it die.
Yeah.
I used to
It's
to
not
share the
dead,
notes
we're
with her
here.
It
because
is
I would
not
take
dead.
notes and,
Oh,
and we
so-
would
This
we would share
podcast
it.
will not die as long as I'm alive. I can tell you.
Yeah. It's not going
Well, now we
anywhere.
know what we got to do, guys.
Oh no.
Well, the whole idea with this show
have to
too
find
is
all
really
5 of my
talking about
Horcruxes.
moral dilemmas. Like
One
if
of
there's a
them's-
dilemma with a certain topic.
Yeah.
Working on 6.
That is true.
You're
So
more
that's why
difficult
it's
than
good
I
to
thought.
know that this podcast you're mentioning,
Yeah.
Ninjas with Bees. What was it?
Dude, you're never gonna get it. Ninjas with bees. Ninjas
He's
are
like-
butterflies.
He's like
Ninja
samurais
are-
and butterflies.
yeah. Samurais and
Ninja
caterpillars.
with Bees.
You're a really shallow
Ninjas
person
with
for that to
bees.
be all that you're into.
Yeah.
I mean, there's more big into youth ministry stuff these days.
Well, you know
Yeah.
what? It's something I told Adam that you got to really be selective as you get older
Mhm.
of what you're really into because,
Yeah,
like
I have
you,
felt that a
you
lot
can play
this
guitar,
past year.
you can play this, you can do this. You got to choose like what are your actual hobbies.
Yeah. Because realistically, like video games and TV shows this last year has not been a big thing for me.
I don't really think there's that many great video games to really play.
Yeah.
That's why I was
the
referring.
one other thing I'm
the
really
sequel
big
to
into.
Ghost of Tsushima is probably the next game
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to.
The one thing I
I'm
have
really looking forward
been
to that
really
too.
big into is the new college football game. I've been playing that a
Yeah.
ton.
We need a rematch.
We do. Did I beat
Because I've
you?
actually, you did beat me,
We
but
should-
I feel like I'm a better player now.
I feel like I'm better too, so it'd
Yeah,
be
so let's-
interesting.
let's do
Yeah.
it.
Eric,
Alright.
let's get a game
Wanna shake
night
on
on
that?
the calendar.
Oh, that was fun. That was a good time.
Dude,
We
you
had a
totally
great-
dodged. You dodged
What?
my handshake and then went for the fist bump with Logan. He wasn't even looking for a fist bump.
And then you
What-
high
what are we
fived
doing?
Ryan's
Full
handshake.
remaster. Look, they're ninjas or butterflies, dude. Yeah.
Those are scary looking.
And I'm
guys.
really mad because they're so big now, and I feel like I could have gotten a job there. But I
They
didn't wanna
really
leave
started
you
a year
guys.
ago?
They start. It
I
was
thought it was longer than that.
It's been about a year, maybe a year and a
Wow.
half.
Ryan, I worry about you though because have you ever heard "Never Meet Your Heroes"?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm still gonna meet him.
What if you find out they
I
do like
did-
really?
I've been
cool-
trying to talk-
Did they like do a road show?
So kind of. So it started off as their Sunday Cool is the company they do. They made a bunch of like videos for churches, like funny comedy videos for churches to show, like clean stuff, like camp rule videos and stuff. And so they're really big with, before they even started this podcast, they were really big with churches and stuff. And so they actually go to a lot of like kids ministry conferences.
Oh.
And so I was trying to get my mom to sign up for one of them and I
Sure.
could tag along.
Yeah.
But
So,
cool.
with all this being said, are they going to sponsor us?
Yes, they
I mean,
actually
we're
already have.
Say,
we're hyping theirs.
we are-
We're
we
directing
need to
people to their
stop.
channel. Could they kind of spread
And
the
you know
love?
what is crazy is that when they were on episode 10, we were on episode like 65. And now I think they might have passed us by now. They do one every week.
Well,
That's what's interesting. If you strike the nerve, or as far as getting in the right, atmosphere, hemisphere, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. But it's
you
cool.
hit the timing
yeah.
just right, you can take off. on
Yeah,
YouTube.
like
That's what
they're
everything is, man.
they're really good at like every single podcast episode they cut into reels and like every
Right.
single one goes viral.
so
Yeah,
here
that really
here's
helps.
the thing. Like,
well, Adam's not doing his job then.
well, I'm about to speak to that. We started this, and it was very early
Oh, it
on
was.
stage of all this,
when we
right?
started this, I think we started this podcast before TikTok was even really a thing.
So,
It was
But-
just starting, right?
but
Yeah, I
I
think
have
so.
learned
We
so
missed
much,
out.
and now this past year has been my first years being in this new role.
Yeah.
So if we get back in the role, in the swing of things,
Oh, I know you're capable.
And we have a market person
Well,
that's
yeah,
going to run our social
definitely.
media. And
Dude, I'm telling you,
I'm going to get her
we're
link to
not-
the Instagram account
We're
right
not
now.
even really.
Well, maybe we can bring back in 7-Eleven sponsorship.
Ooh,
Yeah.
true.
Of course,
And
you saw
another
they're
thing
closing
that's
440
really cool
stores.
what they do is
I saw that.
all of their thumbnails and stuff are super dope. They're like
Oh, there's a science behind it.
they're really
Oh
cool.
yeah, right now I
But-
see one with a fake tree. I think.
No, if you go up to their podcast, that's a bad example. But all of this stuff, like see the background stuff, that's
Oh,
all
yeah.
that's all made in AI. They just type in an AI.
And it's the hook, the
And
question, the titles.
That
the
is
hook.
another thing
It's
I'm
really
into
cool.
right now.
I'm
Is
so into it.
ChatGPT.
Yeah, me too.
I use it all the
I've been
time.
using that more than Google.
Really? Yeah.
They
Oh, yeah.
actually they just banned it where I work.
I think I'm getting ready to pay for it.
I thought about it today
Doing
too.
the $20.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out the business side. What's the business one advantage versus the $20? Because there's a
I haven't looked
25
into the
business side and
tiers.
there-
Yeah.
I did that there was like a partnership I could do with somebody,
Mm-hmm.
like me and
Want to split it?
Sure.
Dude,
if
that'd be
that's what the business side does.
fun. I don't know.
Is
Get-
it 25 for
if you get a
each
chat
person?
GP,
or-
you might be able to get like a chat GPT account for like Porterfield.
Seriously, that's why I've thought about upgrading
Yeah.
my iPhone.
I thought your sermon sounded a little structured today.
Yeah.
Oh, did it?
You can do a free account too.
No, what I use it for,
That's-
yeah, that's what I use, the free account right now. But I've used it for creating a lot of policies, for the church and things. If I need to create I used it for like the dog policy. We have the,
That's how your
Oh.
spelling got better. Okay.
Write me a policy about.
that
Yeah.
explains a lot.
hey, virtual assistant. That worked
We
out.
should we'll have to do a podcast. People have done this already, but we should do a podcast where we let AI decide what our topics are.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But yeah, that's what I've been into. A lot of youth stuff, having fun there.
Are you? Really?
I am. It is stressful, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, keeps me young. You guys know what Riz means?
No.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yes.
I don't get it.
Yes.
Oh,
I
no.
want to keep this separate from that.
Oh,
What's up, youth? Love you guys. I'm gonna get them to listen to this.
really?
I might make it an assignment.
Just make a reward.
Yeah, make a reward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Positive
Like the
reinforcement.
word of
Instead
the
of
day.
negative reinforcement.
Oh yeah, when we did the
I'm a
word of
big
the day.
negative
Do you
All right,
remember that?
the word of the day today is sphincter.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
And Ryan has about 12 stickers he has to send out.
Sphincter. Yeah. Yeah. Whoever comments sphincter first, wherever, gets a sticker.
That girl in Denmark, she's waiting for you.
Yeah, my girl in Denmark.
It's
Still
not
waiting
a-
on you.
It's not a sticker of us. It's
What?
I didn't even hear what
not
he
a
said.
sticker of us.
Oh yeah, we're
A
actually
sphincter sticker.
we're releasing our sphincter line of, of stickers and clothing. Little sphincter hats.
Oh no, no!
I hate that
It's
word.
like the black hole.
Adam, can you pull a picture of a sphincter?
No, I'm not searching that on my computer.
Oh man, good times.
Do you
Logan?
guys, did we all have access to the Moral Dilemma Facebook page? All
I
of
do.
us.
I still
OG?
do.
Do you guys still periodically get the random foreign person that adds the page,
You know, that's
and then
actually
they're
a-
like, "What is a moral dilemma?" Like they message us. It happens still,
Yeah.
occasionally.
Which ties
Yeah.
it perfectly to this quick little sub category is we do have a question that was left on our Facebook account. Let me pull it up.
We need to get legal involved before we talk about our Facebook. Oh man, look at that.
That's a really old video there.
All right, this question comes from Kent Leo Baran. What are the 3 levels of moral dilemma? I don't know what that
Put
means.
it in chat DTP.
This one is from. Whoa.
Is that a legit question?
Yeah. First of all, this is from August 8th, 2020.
What's the person's
From
name?
Robert Dennis. Anyone know who Robert Dennis is?
No.
He's my dentist.
It says Logan ? Home Depot guy.
Oh, yeah.
Found your
that. I
podcast,
remember that.
but it's too religious for me since I'm atheist. Good luck with it, though. Also, if your comic book shop friend has any DC Comic limited collector's editions, have them get a hold of me. I posted on my page the ones I still need. If they have them under $20, I might purchase. Thanks for loading my vehicle and cutting the plywood.
Was I wearing the shame?
Oh my
Shout out
god,
Robert Dennis.
That's legit.
dude! I know exactly what this was. I helped some dude load stuff in his car, and we got to talking about
Podcast, bro.
you got to talk about comic books.
Yeah.
And then I told him it wasn't a podcast, and I showed him where it was, and I guess that was his.
That
comment.
actually does remind me because when I was on that flight, the
Thanks for cutting the
the
plywood
lady-
and loading it up for me. The Home Depot guy.
the lady next to me asked what I was listening to. I was like, "Oh, it's a podcast we used to do," and I told her what it was called, and she's like, "I'll check it out." And I was really hoping she wouldn't dive into it while she's on the plane.
One of my professors at Cedarville told the class, he said, gave Moral Dilemma a listen last night, and it was fairly entertained. He said that in front of my whole class.
Fairly
Professor-
entertained.
Professor Wonders.
He listened to Mortal Dilemma?
He listened to an episode,
Nice.
yes. He's not a nerd, so he said it wasn't really his market, but yeah.
Nice.
Thanks for the random questions.
Logan, what have you been into?
Dude, I've been into this is going to sound weird, but I've been in a big, like, fantasy kick.
Football?
No.
Yoga?
No,
Big
dude,
fantasy
I'm playing
guy?
right now. I'm playing through Skyrim again with
Oh,
Will.
the genre.
Yeah, I'm playing through Skyrim again with Will. We just talk about it.
I might have to hop on.
I have huge memories there.
And I'm doing that, and I am reading Lord of the Rings again, and I'm watching through. This is one of the greatest honors of being married so far. Is I'm watching through the extended edition Lord of the Rings with Melina,
Oh,
and we're doing it in 30-minute intervals.
really quick. What are your thoughts so far?
I
No,
really
was
like
gonna
it
get into
actually.
No, I was
Wow.
gonna. I was gonna say, I wanted. That's pretty much what I've been into. A lot of Lord of the Rings and fantasy stuff, but
And football.
and fantasy football, yeah. For so far from Lord of the Rings, you're in a room minus Corey of people who have seen it multiple times.
Wait,
still-
are we
we
still
still-
talking about the fact that Corey hasn't seen it?
Okay, we
Hey,
started
we'll get
watching.
there.
How
Yeah,
many
never seen-
years has it
No,
been,
listen,
Corey?
listen.
Corey,
get
you
there.
just
Wait,
need
wait,
to
wait.
bite the bullet and just
Time out.
sit down and watch it. Take a day
I'll,
off.
I'll explain. I'll explain in a
We'll
minute.
explain.
Good grief.
I want to know,
Get this
Melina,
man some Lord of the Rings.
what have you,
can come over.
What have you genuinely enjoyed about it so far?
You better choose
Like,
your
tell-
words carefully.
Like, just tell me what you think so far.
No, I genuinely like it. I was very worried that I would not enjoy it and I would fall asleep every time after like 10 minutes because I
wish
don't
you guys could see
do
your reaction when I loaded up
Great
Two
with-
Towers and it was 4 hours long.
I don't even do 2-hour movies barely. But I think the storyline is really good. Like I'm actually very interested in the storyline and like the character
Correct answer.
the character developments. I think it's really good. And I'm actually remembering the names of the characters. I usually like half pay attention. So
Like
it's really
Sheila?
impressive. Yeah, Sheila, my girl. But
And
no,
that-
I really like it
It's
actually.
very hard to actually remember the characters because there's a lot, and the way that their languages in the movies is really hard to like catch it a few times, unless you have subtitles on. Because like when you say like Arwen or something like that, or Aragorn or Saruman or Sauron, like it's really hard to
Yeah.
like lock in.
Yeah, it can be hard to follow.
Do you know where we're at right now? Do you know where we left off?
Oh no.
It's okay because I have to remember too. But I was
Your
just
guys'
curious.
marriage is at stake depending on how she answers this
Sounds like
question.
What was in her vows?
Well, we took
she
a
said
little-
in her vows she'd watch them with me, so she's
Yeah.
taking it up on.
I was doing really well, and then we've been busy the last like week, so we've been taking bigger breaks than like we haven't been watching it every single night.
Yeah,
Oh gosh, I don't know if I do remember where we left off. Actually, we watched a few days ago.
because I think the last time we left off, Frodo and Sam made it to the Black Gate, in going into Mordor, and then
But they're going a different
and
direction
then
now.
Gollum told them that there was another way.
Yeah.
And Sam does not like
Are
it.
you ruining this movie for Corey now?
Yeah,
'Cause
Corey's over
he's-
here. Just
No,
don't know.
that's
I
not.
have no
that's not
idea.
too
It's all right,
important.
buddy.
Do you have a favorite character so far?
Strider.
I was like, I like Aragorn. I feel like he seems like
Strider.
he's taking care. Yeah, like he's taking care of everybody, and like
Uh huh.
he's like there for
How
the.
can you not
He's
like
there for the
Aragorn?
plot.
That's
He's
true.
there for the.
Yeah, it's almost like a cop out, but I'm Team Aragorn as well.
No, I think so.
And
I like Gladriel too.
Galadriel. Yeah.
And I
Do
like
you know he's a really
Frodo.
old man?
Yeah,
Galadriel?
she discovered that was one of the scenes we just watched when he shared his age.
yes.
And when they were when they were with the
Yeah.
Riders of the Mark and Rohan,
I was like,
he
no
shared
way.
with them. He shared that how old he was, and it's been interesting explaining to you like how age works for different races in Lord of the Rings, because it's
Yeah.
kind of confusing. Like an
The
elf.
lore goes
Well,
deep.
he's-
There's so
he's-
much to
From
understand.
Numenor.
As an elf myself, I'm glad that you're starting to understand more about me.
Yeah, I'm doing my best.
Numenorean
I really
men
started watching it because I
live
said,
longer.
this is the family I married into. I
Yeah.
have to understand my brother.
The Ball family are all elves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Logan are 700 years old.
Yep.
Really good with bows.
But I have thoroughly
How
enjoyed
does-
watching it with you.
That's
But
cool.
that's definitely what I've been into. Something about it, I don't know. I feel like whenever I get in the mood to do like Skyrim, I feel like it always takes me into the Lord of the Rings stuff. And then
Yeah.
like getting into all that is super fun. And then, but yeah, that's been pretty much what I
Have you ever
been
heard a
on.
movie called Dragon Slayer? You should check
No.
that out.
I feel like
Watch
I've heard of it. Dragon
It's a
Slayer.
fantasy movie. I think you'd like.
Yeah. One game that I did get into for a long time was Baldur's Gate, which
I
is
tried that out a few times.
it's kind of hard to get into. Baldur's Gate 3, but it's basically, which I've never been into Dungeons and Dragons, but it's basically Dungeons and Dragons but in video game form.
Did you ever play Diablo?
No. See, it's
Really?
similar art style, but the games operate totally differently.
Yeah.
Like Baldur's Gate 3 is like, decision based, and it's so in depth. It's crazy. Like you really can just in that game basically create whatever storyline you want. It won Game of the Year for a ton of places. It's really impressive. But I think Logan would love that game if he got into it.
No, see, I'm in my I'm
It
almost
is for
done with my
mature
master's
audiences
degree.
only, but
I'm graduating soon, and I'm slowly gonna graft in those long single player games
yeah,
again.
it's
But
definitely worth it.
I recently put my old PS4 in the living room, and this is the first time in my whole life I've like living room couch gaming and playing Skyrim on my new TV.
Did you know you can stream your PS5 from your PS4?
Really?
Yeah.
That is.
You download an app and then you can access your PS5 from your PS4.
Huh.
And I think you can use a PS5 controller. I haven't tried that yet.
It's
I
probably
think you
kind of
can use a
laggy though if you have bad
PS5
internet,
controller.
right?
No, actually, it works off the network, so it's not about internet.
So-
It works off your local network
So if it's on the same.
So
okay,
would
I
it
see.
upscale?
to the TV.
Would no? Because the stream to my PlayStation 5 would still be in lower resolution like PS4 graphics.
Yeah.
So I guess it doesn't really matter because
But
my
if you
accounts are
want to get
logged
on there
in.
real quick and play
Yeah.
something,
But
Well, I think
would-
you like The Office, right?
yeah,
Then I can have the TV in the living room.
I do all my sweaty games in the office with a monitor, and then
Yeah.
my single player games, dude, nothing like couch gaming.
I
Yeah.
still have my Xbox Series S. I bought it for Halo, never played it since, but I'm holding on to that one day for couch gaming time.
So I have an 85-inch TV, and I do my couch gaming with that.
Is that in the basement?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it?
That's the
Yeah,
that's the
it's-
TV I have. That's just this much off the
Yeah, Eric did
entertainment
it.
center.
It's the same TV, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you even measure that table when you bought that TV?
No.
Were you just winging
I
it?
stepped out in faith. Just trusted. Say, I'll work.
No, Eric's TV in his basement, first of all, is gorgeous.
Thank you.
Because one of my biggest gripes is when people mount their TVs like above a fireplace or something, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
kind of have to look up. But Eric's TV is 85
My wife
inches.
does not understand that concept. Okay,
It's-
let me just say that because she wants the TV up above
Yeah,
the fireplace.
no,
I'm like, that's just too high.
It's gotta
if I have
be-
to tilt my neck up
Yeah.
to watch it. It's
You know,
like,
it's really bad to have a
Sorry,
TV
Steve.
above a fireplace too.
Is
Like
it?
it's horrible
Yeah,
for the TV.
yeah.
we have a
Well,
fake
even-
fireplace.
even
so
all-
Wait,
it's
our
fine.
TV's above our fireplace.
We have a fake fireplace.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what I was
yes.
gonna
Yeah.
say. Ours is kind of fake too.
But Eric's 85-inch TV, how far away from the couch would you say it is?
Less
It's
than
really
6
close.
feet.
Yeah, and so it's pretty engrossing. Love it.
And then I have a good sound system
Yeah, you do.
with lots of bass.
Dude, Eric,
Yeah. We
I
watched a
can't
war
have
movie
a
and
sound
I
system. I recently
thought I
bought
was there.
a 65-inch 4K mini LED TV,
Ooh, nice.
and it's super nice.
Mm-hmm.
I splurged because it's just I'm in the phase now where I'm trying to buy to last rather than try to just buy to get by. So, but I can't put a sound system in my apartment, but with the Apple TV, I'm able to use headphones, and that's been amazing.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's
What kind of headphones? You got the Air Max or
No, I don't know.
Xavier has a pair of those. He
They're
likes
really
those.
nice. I don't think the cost. I don't think they
New
the
ones are
cost is
coming out,
justifiable.
but they didn't change anything.
Yeah,
They're the
new
exact
ones.
same thing.
They
just
took the
USB-C.
Lightning. They took Lightning to make it USB-C, and they changed the color. And I have the Sony MX1000 M3s.
I heard those are good.
Yeah, but
I might be getting the AirPod Maxes. We'll see.
the ecosystem's always nice,
Yeah.
and they're
I just
really
got the
nice
fours.
headphones. But
What color do you want?
yeah,
Probably black.
the deep purple is kind of sick.
Just a regular one. Huh?
Yeah. But it is nice with my Mac Mini at home. Just putting them on and they work.
You can't argue with the ecosystem, so I see you there.
Yeah, can't argue with the ecosystem. I'll say
Melina?
that. Yeah, Melina, what are you into?
Me?
It doesn't have to be something that we would relate to. Just tell us
Yeah,
what you're
just
into.
Oh, okay.
Tell us
Painting
now.
nails.
Well, I did think about it in case I was asked, but I didn't know. But I was we've been talking about this a lot lately. But I was gonna say probably running, just because that's what's taken up a lot of my time the last like 5 months or
show
so.
us your form.
Because we,
Do you
I
run like
showed
chicken
my
arms?
stance. Yeah, we were Logan and I and some friends, and Jeff, who's been on the
Jeff's been here.
podcast a lot.
We love Jeff.
He's
We
an
did.
animal.
We were just training for a race, and we'd never done anything
Yeah.
longer than
Are
like
you gonna go to Disney World?
a 5K
Do
before.
his?
That's nuts.
Maybe
but no.
someday.
We should do
not this
the
year.
Krispy Kreme race.
Do you like get a donut after every mile? or
You
something?
run a 5K.
That's
Or no,
crazy.
sorry. You run.
I can just imagine
you
people
run
throwing up
half
everywhere.
of a 5K, eat 12 Krispy Kreme donuts, and then run back.
Holy cow.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
I don't think I could do that.
I don't think so. But
Why does it
But no,
say
it's
it's
been-
5?
Yeah, you just ran a half marathon.
5:13 p.m.
Have we been going until tomorrow?
It's 5:13 a.m.
This is rolled
I
into
don't
the
know.
tomorrow
Actually,
show.
yeah, the Tomorrow Show.
It says 9:51 on my screen.
Uh-oh.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's all right. So,
Yeah, one other thing that I think Eric, I can't remember if you're into this or not, but the Ball family, and I know Corey has been into it for a long time, is fantasy football. And that's been really
I
fun.
used to do it. Actually, my son Isaiah was like, "Hey, you want to do this?" And I'm like, "I just don't have time to mess with it."
Yeah. I'm
But,
gonna want to.
I used to.
I think
I
we should
used to do
do
it.
a Moral Dilemma League
I
next year.
That would be fun.
I used to be average, above average.
I bet you know a lot about sports.
I feel like our
Repping the
fantasy.
Steelers.
I feel like our fantasy league that I'm in this year is pretty interesting because we were just talking about this in the car before we started here, but most people their fantasy league, like, you have a pretty large bench. So like you draft everyone, you have this big bench selection. The league I plays with a really short bench. So we have our starters and then you only get 3 bench spots.
Okay.
So when you're like most people, if you have to bench a good player or someone gets hurt, if you drop them for somebody else, someone's trying to take that player.
Yeah.
So you have to be like really aggressive with like the waivers and like
That'd be fun.
available players and stuff.
Does it still work to where you choose a defense?
Yes.
Okay. So you don't choose all the defensive
No.
players. You just
See,
pick
one of the most
That's the way I
controversial
used to
things
play.
about our family's league right now is that Becca was not available for the draft, and so her account auto draft and picked a stacked team, and so Becca, who doesn't play fantasy ever, I don't even think she knows how to get into the app. She has all these really good players. She has like Brandon Ayuk. Does she have
Does she have
then she
Barkley?
has Saquon Barkley.
Saquon Barkley?
Yeah.
Now, is
Really
your
good
mom in
players.
this?
She is, and she's actually doing really well.
My dad gives her like little tips and
Yeah,
tricks.
but
and helps her
the
sub out
family
right
rule
people,
is that we are not allowed to bribe or trade with Becca.
because it'd be a monopoly
It
team.
would be a monopoly. So Becca has all of these injured players right now that she doesn't know how to sub out. So she's losing, but her players are good.
Wouldn't you say fantasy is probably both of our like what we've been into a lot recently? Because I feel like fantasy.
I've been so into football.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's gotten us watching like a lot of the other games because I pretty much only used to watch the Eagles games, but now
Yeah.
we watch
That's the
every
fun part
single
about it.
game. But it's really fun.
Eric does not like the Eagles, I don't think.
I'm so
I'm a
sorry.
Steeler
Eric.
fan. I mean,
Yeah, we're
I'm
Steelers
not.
fans.
I'm
there's
not
only 2
a,
teams in Pennsylvania.
I'm not.
You
a
picked the wrong one, Eric.
anti-Steelers.
You picked the
Yeah.
wrong one.
I'm not anti-Eagles.
I will
unless they play
say
the
though, I've
Steelers.
told this to Melina, but when they had the whole revival that happened, I thought it was so awesome. Nick Foles, which they don't, that's the problem. They don't have all the players that they used to have
Yeah.
that I liked.
Yeah.
Well, tell
Yeah.
me about,
They're all
Hurts.
gone.
Tell him about Jalen Hurts, what he's been doing.
Well, my brother was saying that I think that he like will lead devotionals with some of
That's
the
cool.
other players, but it did stem from like when Nick Foles and Carson Wentz were on the team. There was like Zach Ertz. There were a ton of players that they would
Zach
like go
Ertz.
to hotels and do like baptisms at times. Like it was, we have a whole like the whole book about it. But anyway, it is super cool to kind of when you mix.
Did you hear
Like
about
the
that
faith in
happening in
sports.
Ohio State?
That's
Yeah.
what I was gonna bring
Yes.
up. Like I know
That's
you
really cool.
guys. It's kind of a loaded room here because it's like primarily West Virginia and.
I like Ohio
But
State.
you know, I lived in.
If I hear revivals breaking out, I'm like,
Here-
hey, that team I
Yeah.
want to support.
but I.
Praise the Lord. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. So there's, I mean, from Ohio, big Ohio State fan, lived in Columbus, went to games, but yeah, they're baptizing people on campus.
Yeah.
It's cool.
They
really cool.
they like media day hit huge because a bunch of them started being really outspoken about their faith, and some people are getting saved, and I think like 20 some of the team members or something, when they showed up for media day, they had all these different custom Ohio State shirts made. Like some said like Jesus won. There were a couple more. There were like 3 or 4 different like sayings, but
What-
they're doing like worship nights on campus, and
Yeah,
like the
that's cool.
football team's going out. They just drag out like a pool to baptize people in right in the middle of downtown Columbus.
Well,
it's
if
pretty
I could
crazy.
just say something, I don't, want to hijack this too much, but the fact is think about how cool God is that he'll, and yeah, a lot of people say, well, sports don't really maybe matter in the grand scheme of things, but it does in the sense that God can use whatever platform he chooses to speak about who he is. And I think that's what the fantastic and marvelous thing about God is, that God can use a team like Clemson or, the other teams like Virginia basketball when they won the national title. He'll use how he deems and sees fit to use whatever it is to speak about himself.
Yeah, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's really cool about God, that God, you may not see it on the Hollywood side of things all the time, but God's still working in these
Yeah.
different areas
Yeah.
and these different pockets that sometimes you only see, and sometimes it rises to the top. So the world is testified again or witnessed to that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
God's there.
And I think to like piggyback on that, I feel like every year,
Love a good
and I don't think there's no ill intent there, but you always hear every year there are people that are also Christians that say God doesn't actually care about football, like whatever. Yeah, to an extent, yes, like he has no part in who wins or
Yeah,
loses a
yeah.
football game, but he cares about the people.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so the fact that, like you said, he's using a platform where there are millions of people tuned in watching these people,
Yep.
and they're just saying, I'm a Christian and I believe in Jesus,
Yeah.
and we're having worship nights on campus and we're baptizing people, and every time I get in front of the camera, I'm going to say that I praise the Lord. And it's like,
Yeah.
he cares about that.
Yeah.
And so
Well, and
to
if I
have that
could-
platform.
I thought about this the other day. What else has changed so many people throughout history that's actually changed people's lives? Maybe drugs, I guess, could be a thing that's changed people's lives. But
Yeah.
I don't think there's ever been any one person that's changed people's lives like Jesus has
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
throughout
absolutely.
history. So I think that's pretty amazing. And if you think about it, like, what has been the one single factor that's changed so many people throughout the world?
Yeah.
And I would say Jesus has to be at the top of the list, right?
And in the most like abrupt ways too. A lot of times.
yeah,
Like it's not just
like a dramatic change. It's not
Exactly,
just
yeah.
like a slow slide or something. It's
Mhm.
like a lot of people have just had this dramatic
Yeah.
change from
Mhm.
not knowing God to
It is
to
cool.
knowing Christ, and whether it's people that have been on drugs, before, and then changing their life around, but.
Mhm.
I guess what I was trying to say with the drug aspect, that can really be a detriment to somebody's life to totally, go into like a zombie state and change
Yeah.
them. But
Mhm.
in a positive way,
Yeah.
it has to be Jesus, I'd
Mhm.
say.
Mhm.
It is cool. And that reminds me, I watched the other day. Have you watched the Ben Roethlisberger podcast?
I've seen clips of it
Yeah.
like on Reels, but I haven't
Yeah.
really
So
just
I watched it for the first time probably about a month ago, just because I was like, I want to see what he thinks about the Steelers, and I was surprised because the first like 45 minutes, they didn't even talk about sports. They talked about Jesus, and they talked about like raising a Christ-centered family, and I was like, that is cool.
That's really cool because
Like they-
he had some issues.
Exactly,
in his
and that's
past, too.
yeah, and so I know that he gets a lot of flack for that, and you know, but it was really cool to see that. Like it's him and two other guys, and one guy I think is a pastor, or he's either a pastor or I know that there was just like this big conference for dads. I forget what it was called, but I separately saw a clip on Instagram of this dad conference, like a bunch of dads singing like gratitude, like 300 guys singing gratitude is really cool, like really powerful. And then like the next week I watched the podcast, and the guy that's been on that podcast is the guy that started that conference. And I was like, that's cool. But
I think it goes
neat.
back to what I talked about today at church about the mountains moving.
mm-hmm.
When we have faith and believe that God can do things, it's not selfishly believing.
yeah,
It's having faith that God can do a mighty work, like, you know, whether it's having a dream for a church camp, having a dream for what God can do, whether it's me participating in that or not.
yeah,
It's being mindful that there's eternity at stake and that God can do things beyond me and my capabilities. It's God moving mountains that you think that could never happen. Well, why can't it happen? It's having faith, believing that God can do the impossible. You know, man, all things are, you know, sometimes impossible, but with God, nothing's impossible.
yeah.
You know, so I guess I'm just saying that because I think about how lives are changed. You know, like a football team can hold a whole football team can be changed, a whole basketball team, a whole campus at a college can be changed by the power of what God can do.
Yeah.
And so we shouldn't limit God. A lot of times we limit God and what He's able to do, or we treat God as a genie in a bottle, and that's not the heart of God. It's being in line with Him to say, Lord, I want Your will to be done, and I want to see greater things for Your kingdom to be done, not mine. You know. So, and that came right after the fig tree. So Jesus was trying to illustrate the fact that Israel didn't have the faith. And I think it's really up to us Christians to say, do we have the faith in God to trust Him and hold Him to His word?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, we kind of just just covered the usual end of our podcast, but we still haven't finished
Yeah,
our.
how much time we got?
we still
Let's
haven't-
get back off
How much
topic.
time? How long have we going? It says
Oh,
0.
yeah, we passed
24
45
hours?
minutes. We've gone about over an hour and 10 minutes.
Hey, that's on brand. Well, let's get into the next topic we talked about.
Well, we haven't
Toys.
finished our. What have you? We got Adam. Melina only said running,
yeah.
and then we have Adam.
Yes.
Well, we don't have Adam. I mean, he's not
Who's-
here.
who's
I'm
Adam?
not necessary.
You know,
Who's
no,
Adam?
I was just thinking hits the other guy. Isn't it?
It's Fathom.
Adam
Fathom, yeah.
Wadsworth.
Yeah.
All right, Fathom.
What you got, Fathom? That wasn't FAT. That was FAT. I promise. I promise you, baby. All right, Fathom.
Fat? F-A-T?
What are you into?
Evidently not Gabor.
Dude.
Burn, dude.
I think you did.
Shots
I think you told me about the Gabor stuff a while ago.
I didn't hear about it.
I didn't either.
Well, I don't talk about it because you make fun of it all the time. Why would I keep talking about it?
Oh,
Say
did I hurt your
sorry.
little?
No, I just stopped having that conversation.
That's the most offensive thing to say. Did I hurt your little feelings? You dog.
I'm a jerk.
Hey, I was in a movie. It's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
I've
true.
never been in a movie.
Yeah. Other than Gabor, Adam, what have you been into?
Just started a discipleship training. That's kind of been new
Ooh. What,
with a squad.
what do you mean by that?
So it's like a 6-week or 45-day technically discipleship training, and it's doing a lot of biblical, spiritual, and some physical aspects into it. But the whole
nice.
point is you're getting 4 to 5 men to go with you, and that's your squad.
Oh, nice.
And then you keep each other accountable, things like that. And there's a book that we're reading through. Like we all got this package.
Mm-hmm.
It came with a dog tag with our 2 Timothy verse on there, and then you get the book, a bookmark that has the, all the armor of God on it,
Yeah.
and then you get a journal, and basically you go through. There's day-to-day tasks, and then there's week-long tasks. And
That's cool.
so I got 3 other guys to do it with me.
Nice.
We picked this all up at the men's conference I went to a month ago.
Sweet.
So yeah, so that's what I just started. This is the start of the 2nd week.
Nice.
That's kind of what I'm into right now, I guess.
What is this?
when you
Like
first-
church people squad, or is this
Yeah.
people from
Yeah,
Gaborim?
people.
Okay,
No,
It's
this
just
is
4 of
it's-
you, right?
Yeah, it's people from here,
It's
from our
just
church.
squad.
that's dope.
Yeah,
Well, I
but
thought-
my goal is we're trying it out. We're
Mhm.
going to see how it is, and then we like to get other guys into it. So
Nice.
I was going to get you and Parker in on it next round.
Is
about
this why you were
I
inviting
think,
me to
I
the
think
gym?
the tagline should be developing a squad to be squatters.
Yes. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
sounds like nice.
Let's all become squatters. I want to be like gym squatting.
No, I was just thinking
Or
about.
poop
Well,
squatting.
yeah.
My
Jim's-
mind went poop squatting, which
No,
shows
no,
how long
no,
it's
no,
been
no, no.
since I've been to the gym.
It's actually a plug for the squatty potty. It's
Do
like
you-
you're just everyone.
Does
uses the
everybody
squatty
online
potty.
see the method of what happens when I do something serious and I have something really spiritual going on? This is the comeback that I
It's
get.
cool.
No,
That's hilarious. That was
no,
hilarious.
I got to tell Adam, I'm always giving him a hard time. Like, I was the one that was, he was supposed to teach a lesson, and I was the one to be goofy, eating a piece of chalk in the background or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I'd have an easier time doing this youth ministry thing if
Yeah.
Eric wasn't here.
Yeah. So I think next time something spiritual happens to Eric, we make fun of him.
Oh, sure.
Thoughts?
I make fun of myself. I don't.
No, I think it's cool. Well, what's it called? Just discipleship training, or is it have a
Squatters.
cool name?
4-5, discipleship. 45, 4-5 discipleship training.
That's cool.
I'll give you the deets later.
Yeah, give me the deets.
Details.
Give me the deets.
Trying to figure out what that was.
What the deets?
Yeah.
Details.
Slang.
Melina, are you into anything other than running recently?
I guess. I mean,
Gilmore Girls.
I do love Gilmore Girls. I think you all would too if you gave it a chance.
It's actually a good show.
It is a really good
I've never
show.
seen an episode.
It's very there's
I've watched it.
it's
I've
there's
watched
very
all
good
through.
writing. It's very
Yeah.
witty. It's very funny.
Yeah.
It's like a cute
Witty.
storyline too.
My daughter was really into that
Yeah, and it's pretty clean.
Yeah.
It's pretty good
for the most part.
for the most part. Some
You
other
watch Gilmore
sitcoms
Girls,
are
too?
it's a little bit
It
better.
took
than-
forever for the guy that manages the diner and the
Oh,
lady
yeah.
that's in it to actually
takes
hook up.
too long.
It's drawn out.
There's
Isn't
a
the
lot
guy
of
from
lore.
Guardians of the Galaxy and
And
Gilmore,
you got the
Gilmore
cook
Girls?
lady that's really
Kirk.
funny.
Kirk.
He said, "Isn't the
Yes.
guy from Guardians of the Galaxy?"
And we saw the video, the Guardians of the Galaxy. We were like, Kirk's in this. Like
Yeah.
that's.
It should be the other way around.
It
It,
should
should be
be.
the guy from
Gilmore
Gilmore Girls
Girls.
is in Guardians of the
Oh,
Galaxy. Because
absolutely.
Kurt
He-
is the Dwight of Gilmore Girls.
Oh, nice.
It's hilarious.
He's
Really?
great.
Ryan,
does
it
a
is,
great
it is
job.
actually
Corey, did you ever get into Gilmore Girls?
sublime.
I did
vibe.
not.
That shocks me.
It's a
Dude,
very it's
honestly,
a fall show. You guys
Melina,
should start it now.
The
It's
one
very
show
October.
that you definitely have got me hooked on out of all the shows you watch is that, and then the Great British Baking Show
Oh,
is
good
actually
golly.
super fun to
I
watch.
can't get into those.
Thank you for admitting
I've seen
it.
enough of those.
The Great British Bagel.
It's good. It's so pure.
Yeah.
They're British, like European people are just like so much kinder than Americans. Everything's so
Yeah,
just
Americans
like
suck.
everything's so lovely
ready to move.
or
We're gonna
so
get
like
canceled
they're
now.
they're gobsmashed. It's just like so
You
fun.
get canceled by America.
Yeah, there was a guy from New York on it actually, and he like got sick and left, and I think maybe they poisoned him. We'll
Yeah.
see.
The guy that was talking about us New York style coffee,
Yeah,
he got poisoned, 100%.
he might have. But I am always into Gilmore Girls, and I feel like this might be kind of silly, but especially with like the running, I got super into watching videos about like the nutrition aspect of running, like just like trying to get all of that kind of stuff, and then watching just like day in the life of like how people go about, because it's kind of hard sometimes to fit like, I mean, it is hard to fit even like an 8-mile run into like the work day. It's like, when do I do that? What do I eat? I don't know. So it's been cool to learn more about like hydration and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I just became the footstool. Of
You did.
Ryan.
Just get my foot.
Was it
stool.
comfortable?
Not
Well,
really.
since we lost the first stool, we have to find another
yeah.
one.
You are my stool, Eric.
Interesting.
I'll be that.
That's cool. Yeah, I one day I think I'm going to get into running. I feel like that's in my.
Really?
I feel like that's
Have
in
no
my.
desire to get
That's
into
in my
running.
book.
I
of
know
life
nobody-
You
somewhere.
were running more than we were.
Yeah.
Nobody will ever do
Well, it's
this,
really hard
but I
around
promise you that if you just sign
It's a-
up for a big goal race, I guarantee you your success will be your odds of actually doing it are like go up 10.
When you
I'm-
put $100 down, you're
Yeah.
a little more
Well, I'm
motivated.
running
when
a
you
marathon
when you
tomorrow,
sign
so-
up for it,
I'm cooked.
Ray is just signed up for a half and he's training for one now.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
one of
nice.
these days. I was going to try to do the prison one.
Shawshank
Shawshank,
Shuffle.
the Shawshank Shuffle.
That's what Xavier
But
did.
I was out of town.
I actually got the medal from
Parker
that.
and
didn't
And I
do
was
it.
out of town because you guys want me to do the half marathon. I thought about it, but I was also out of town for that.
I know that was a bummer. We did have a good group though. It's helpful to have friends
Yeah.
too, and you like have the same app so you can see how much people
Well,
are running. So it motivates you.
Jeff Cox is talking me into doing the mud.
See, I feel
Mud
like I
run
feel like I
next year.
don't want.
Melina
He
and
talked
I
to
are-
us about
I don't
that
know if it'd be
too.
my first
Wanted to
run,
do
though.
that.
I feel like that potentially could ruin it for me.
It's fun though. With
No,
like
I
obstacles.
not a
promise.
run,
I
it's
promise you,
survival.
it'll make it better because
It might be more entertaining because there's more to do besides just running for
Yeah.
like
there is a sheer.
13, 20.
There's a part of okay. If you're really into podcasts, I think running is where you need to be.
Yeah,
I listen to
Because
podcasts when I run.
I
yeah.
listened
That's what I
to
did- that's what I did
Ninjas
with
or
the
Butterflies when I ran.
yeah, yeah.
Ninjas or bees or butterflies?
Because
It's samurais or moths.
It's the birds and bees. Because you genuinely run out of music. Like seriously, I know everyone's like, oh, you can always find something, but when you're running every day for 2-3
Yeah.
hours, like that is like you just run out of stuff.
Dude, that's another crazy thing is that this whole year I've been on the biggest music slump of my entire life.
Really?
I
Got
just
burnt
can't
out?
find, not even burn out. I just feel like there's nothing really good has dropped.
the new Skilled song.
Oh
You know
my
what your
gosh,
problem is?
I don't want to get into that.
You haven't switched to elevator music. If you switch to
Family.
elevator music, you'd be a
Freedom.
lot
See,
better
I
off.
feel like
Freedom.
I need to at this point. Yeah.
Were we going to talk about toys?
Yeah, so let's get into the next topic. Well,
Yeah.
because we have
Man,
plenty
this
of
is
time.
a 2-hour-long
Hey,
episode.
Well,
you know
it's
what?
been a
Okay,
while.
Hey, we're
we're in
catching
it.
up.
We could
I
just
also-
separate it into two episodes.
Can
Should
we
have brought
make-
my pillow.
Can we make sure that we title this episode "Ninjas or Bees"? Please. Let's make sure that's
What does the B stand for? Are we saying BEE?
Yeah,
like
B is like
B-E-E, yeah.
In my mind,
I just
you're-
flipped
Why would
the
you
insect.
ever interpret it that
I
way?
don't know. I just did.
ninjas are the letter B.
But on the so we went on the Krabby Patty journey earlier today. Great time. So
Really?
much to
Because
talk
my
before.
stomach's a little upset now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, the
I'm not a
pineapple
huge
thing
fan.
was great.
But we were talking about stinky pillows.
Stinky.
Which
she just outed them.
I won't out who owned the stinky pillow.
Noah Martin.
Logan.
But we were talking about like
Abby Grace Martin.
everybody in their life
Bull.
growing up has, at least I think everyone has a core memory of maybe one or two very, very prized possessions, like a stuffed animal or a blanket or a pillow or a toy that grew up with you, and you had it until you were like an embarrassingly old age, and then finally you were like, all right, I gotta get rid of this. What is that for you guys?
Just go first.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
I've got two. Can I share two?
Absolutely.
Go ahead first.
So mine was, I don't remember when I got him. God bless his soul.
Spoiler alert.
But
wasn't
it was
Chucky.
It had a personality.
no, it was a knife. No, it was a blue bear, and guess what I named it?
Blue Bear.
I named him Blue Bear. And
Wasn't that a TV show for kids?
might
That's
have
big.
been.
That's Big,
Big
Bear.
Brother.
That's
Brother.
Bear and the Big,
Big
Blue
which
House.
I
House.
also was heavy on. That
Clifford?
what a good show.
Dude, get Katie on here. Let's talk about Doodle Bops.
Doodle Bops. It's crazy.
I
Shout out to Katie. You know,
couldn't
I
stand
also was a
when
big
Katie watched
fan
Doodle
of-
You know what my favorite show when my kids were?
What?
Blue's Clues.
Really?
Aw.
That's another blue dog.
Steve
Blue
getting
You
a
just
letter
got
every
a
day.
letter.
comfy couch.
Yeah.
JoJo
and
the
then
circus girl.
and then the next guy
Steve was my favorite.
that took
homework.
over after Steve when they said Steve was too
Yeah.
old.
Guys, we're never gonna
Never the
finish.
same.
fraud.
Ryan, finish.
Hey, chill out, man.
Did you
He
know there's
wasn't
a
too
docu-
old. He was losing his hair.
Yeah,
He was
had,
balding.
Poor
he
guy.
was balding.
So they
and-
kicked him out.
Yeah.
Well, no,
they
he
said
he,
have
left, he
wigs.
chose to leave because
Yeah.
there's a documentary on it.
He
Yeah.
chose to leave because he's literally balding.
He felt like
There's
he
a
was getting too old, and
documentary.
yeah, didn't
I
want
guess that makes sense.
But anyway,
given the audience.
Deep
I
lore.
had
Great.
this blue bear, very soft. I used to just,
so
I used to just hold him.
Does
Lo-
it have
love
like
him.
any access to the stuffing? Like, did you put other things in the stuffing?
Any access
What
to the
a
stuffing?
podcast question.
That's a crazy question.
Are you trying to say that we're both a drug
Here it
mule?
goes. Here it goes. Real quick question.
Is there anything in the
He
bear?
goes,
other than
he goes,
stuff?
yeah, Ryan, let me just ask you.
Well, I was thinking
did
like
he
a
happen to
Build-A-Bear,
have-
you know?
It's funny because I just watched the podcast he did with my mom and dad.
Yeah.
And it's like you were like, so yeah, let me ask you this, guys. How was the access to the stuffing? No, zero access to the stuffing because I took care of this thing. Like I would I'd
So
have
it
him
didn't
all
have
the
a
time.
zipper.
He did not have a zipper, but he had this blue bow around his neck that I'm pretty sure I learned how to tie my first knot using that bow. So it was just ragged.
Dude,
and-
what a Boy Scout.
but there is a semi-traumatic event. I think we were on our way back from, I think it was like, maybe it was the zoo or something. It was some like road trip. And I had Blue Bear with me. and just hold him in my car seat. And this also could be the first memory I've ever had because this goes deep. But I remember we were in the car. My dad was driving. My mom was driving. And I remember I just started crying because it didn't feel good, but I didn't know how to communicate that. And so I was just crying. I was like, "What's wrong, buddy?" And I was just crying. And then little 3-year-old Ryan threw up all over Blue Bear.
Oh.
And it saturated him.
Oh, poor guy.
Like he was full. Like I'd say the stuffing was saturated with
And he didn't have any access to his stuff.
Yeah, and I had no access to the stuffing. And so I remember that devastated me. And my mom said, "It's okay. We'll put him in the washing machine and he'll be fine." I remember.
Did they just get you new bear?
They should have. I remembered very distinctly the first time I laid hands on Blue Bear after the vomit incident, and he was all matted because of the dryer. He still smelled like puke.
No.
He was gross. It took him forever to dry out, so he was a little moldy, but I still held on to him. This little pukey Blue Bear, and he's still somewhere at the house. So shout out Blue Bear.
Yeah.
I know you're watching.
He's haunting our house.
Yeah. Corey, what about your little guy?
So I feel like I have to say 3, but they're all connected. So all of mine have to do with sleep.
Okay.
From the time, and this is from a very like
big sleep
core
guy.
age, big sleep guy.
Big sleep guy.
I always like when I was young, I always had like I feel like I had a big fear of the dark and sleeping. So from a very young age, I've been told this story a bunch, but I didn't know this at the time. I was too young. Apparently my mom had these like pajamas that were really soft. And
Silky.
I used to like, as like a baby, basically used to like rub them to fall asleep. So they turned them into a blanket. So I had this blanket that it was just small that whenever she got rid of them.
What was its name?
It didn't have a name,
Yeah,
but one of them did.
What was its name, Corey?
It really didn't
Derek?
have a name.
Derek.
Yeah, sure,
He
Derek.
said
We'll
Derek.
call him
I
Derek.
said
We'll
Derek.
call him
Derek.
Derek.
Corey
Yeah,
had a
it's
blanket
Derek.
named Derek.
You're right.
Did
Derek
you
the
hear him
blanket.
slip up? He said Derek. I didn't have a name for it.
I swear I didn't have a name. Derek did. Shoot.
So
Yeah,
I
Derek
had-
didn't really.
Yeah, Derek.
Derek. Anyways, so I had Derek for a really long time. That was probably the earliest. Thing. But then my aunt made me this little pillow that was she sewed like I don't know, it was a little square pillow, and she sewed like a Steeler cover over it.
Oh, cool.
And for some reason I couldn't say pillow, so I called it my Steeler pie. So it was my Steeler pie forever.
Dude,
And
so
then I
Steeler
slept
pie,
with it.
Derek.
I slept with it for so long that the like cover on the outside eventually like completely
wow.
was destroyed. But I'm a hot sleeper,
Yeah,
and
you are.
you know how like
Oh, wait, what?
Ryan and I live together.
Keep
It's
going.
a long story.
Living and sleeping
anyways,
together is very different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not really.
Actually,
don't think about it too
I
much.
can't hear anybody. Can you guys hear in the?
I can.
Is
I don't
Eric
know.
going
Can
deaf?
you not hear?
Huh? Yeah.
You okay?
Oh, did I hit something?
I don't
Melina.
know.
Did you
No, I
mute?
don't think so.
Adam, can
Yeah.
you hear Eric?
I can hear.
All right.
Yeah, I can't
Okay.
hear
You'll be all right.
myself.
So,
something up.
You're
the
coming- you're
Steeler
coming to the
pillow
mic.
always stayed really, really cold for some reason. So even clear up into like high school,
Yes.
I had my bed and I had this little square pillow and I slept on it like every night because it would stay so cold that it was like my favorite thing to
Is
sleep
that
on.
2 out of 3? I'm getting lost.
That's 2 out of 3. Yeah, and then the third
Derek,
one,
Steeler pie.
my parents got me this little Barney stuffed animal,
Oh.
like the old Barney the Purple Dinosaur. But it was a good night Barney, and he had a little sleeping cap and like pajamas on. So when I went to bed, I had to have the Steeler pie, Derek, and the Barney.
Corey, were you a big
So-
onesie guy?
No, it's not. I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm sure.
Man, I had to hate those things.
Yeah.
Don't buy me
Sleeping
a
Barney?
No.
Oh,
The onesies.
What
yeah.
are you scared?
Yeah.
You scared of
But
onesies?
I
Well, I
did-
mean, you feel like you're stuck. Like, how do you
We
get
got
out
out
of
there
this
in a
thing?
I
onesie.
You
always saw
obviously
the-
haven't been in the high
Oh,
quality
my
snuggies.
Oh,
I also thought it was really funny because since Barney was a dinosaur, he had like the little tail, and you know how the old onesies had those like butt flaps on them or whatever.
Yes.
Stuffing access?
So there was
Yep.
a butt flap on the pajamas on the Barney, and you could like
Perfect.
pull them around the tail. So there was like a hole in the butt flap, and you like put it up over the
Oh.
tail. Yeah, I thought that was
Question.
interesting.
Glad they worked out that detail.
Yeah, it was very
Did
detailed.
Barney have butt cheeks?
No,
Good.
did not. My mom still has Barney, I think.
Really?
Somewhere at the house. Yeah.
Aw.
She's
should've
very
brought all of
It's a
them.
sentimental.
good mom.
I'm gonna find it for you.
I guarantee I could find it in 10
I'll find it
minutes.
first.
Really?
Yeah.
Prove it.
Bring it next time.
Courage runs out. Eric, what do you got?
So I got two things that I really liked. One, of course, when I was a kid, I liked Matchbox cars. So they came up with this thing where you could make your own Matchbox cars.
Ooh.
You would use wax. And so I still have this thing
I mean,
where you'd actually
wax.
drop in a thing of wax. You'd have a mold of which car you want to make.
Yeah.
And you'd have the wheels, and you'd set the wheels in it. And then you'd actually put it in the machine. So you'd have to turn it in. This thing would turn and turn the wax. The
Like
wax
hot
would,
wax?
Yeah,
How'd
so
the wax
hot
get
wax.
hot?
You'd plug it in, and it
Oh.
would heat up.
Wow.
It was like the equivalent of a, what's that baking?
Easy
little-
bake oven?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This was for boys, This
Wow.
was the idea. You would melt the wax, you'd turn it, you'd choose
So
the,
similar to the Easy Bake Oven.
yeah. So you'd turn it and it would make the wax cars. And what was cool is like you'd make any car you wanted because there's different molds. And then what was cool I used to do is like leave out the tires. You have a ship,
Ooh.
like you have an airplane on some of those cars. And then also if you wanted to combine colors, you just put different colors of wax. So you'd have blue, red, green, yellow.
And at the end
and
of the
then
day,
you just change it.
they're all candles.
Well, no, it's wax, but it's like the hard kind of wax. But
Oh, my bad.
but it was really cool. So I still have that. And one of the cool stories was I loved that thing so much that my mom actually helped me write a letter to the company.
No way.
And I wrote a letter to the company, and they actually sent me extra wax
Aw,
things
that's sick.
because
good
and tires
customer
and wheels.
service.
You still have
because
it?
Yeah, I still have it.
Dude, you should make me a car.
Dude, I need to start writing letters to
that
companies
would be
I'm
a
into.
I need
prized-
some more pellets. But
That would be a prize, but I can get you some at work.
yeah,
Oh,
that's
you
true.
could.
Get you some
Give me some wax pellets. I
get
don't know
you
if they'll
some-
melt in the
some
little thing, but
Zytel.
I'm sure it was a particular
I can just get
type
you a
of
whole
wax.
airplane.
I actually have one. Oh, after this podcast, I actually have one on my little shelf of the cars
Really?
I used to make.
Well, I'll be.
Go get it.
So the other thing I would say, there was this toy that I had that I loved, and I bought it as an adult because I liked it so much.
Yeah.
But it was basically this thing that would run around this track, and it would be all these different construction equipment.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd have like this thing that would run back and forth all the different places, but it would change its top. So it would be a dump truck. It would be a thing that would lift up the little marbles and have this thing where it took the marbles in it, but it would drive around and change its type being, I don't know all the terms are as
It's an Animorph.
But anyhow, I actually saw this later on, and I was like, I gotta have that, buy that
Dude.
because I love that thing so much.
That's cool.
But it was a lot of fun.
That's cool.
So
So did you like cuddle with these cars when you slipped?
no, they're cars.
Oh, you didn't have anything to cuddle with?
You're riding their cars,
Well-
you idiot.
Well, I'll tell you what. When I was a kid and I got scared, I used to take all my stuffed animals because I did have a lot as a kid, and I would stuff around my bed and act them actually like, you watch this end, you watch that side, you watch this side. And so they were all my guards, and then have them all around my bed,
Dude.
so I wouldn't be scared at night.
Smart guy. You
Because
still do
I lived
that.
in this a house that had a bunch of windows in my bedroom, and it scared me.
Really? Dang. You were safe.
Yeah, I had
True.
Jesus.
You had Jesus and your stuffed animals.
That's why you sleep in the basement now.
Cool. Logan. Let's talk about Logans. I know Logans.
Did you
All
have a
right.
blue bear too?
No,
he
no.
wishes.
All right. So, how do I explain this?
Wait, first of all, let's give a little visual. You know, like a birthday napkin?
Dude, I haven't even started. Why are you helping me?
Sorry. There you go.
All right. So, I guess when a baby's born, a lot of times the parents will receive gifts. And I guess one of these gifts to me was this like thing. It was like, it kind of looked like it was about this big.
It's like the
For
claw.
people
Yay
listening,
big.
can you tell us dimensions?
It was like, I don't know. It was a glorified like napkin essentially.
That's what I'm saying.
It was long. It was pretty big, but
it was like a big. It was a sheet of cloth, basically.
yeah, but it was white and it had baseballs stamped on it and a baseball bat, and I called it my deity.
Your what?
Is deity.
Is that
called
like
it-
diaper?
I
or
called it-
Deity?
I called it deity.
Was
Yeah.
it a dinosaur?
And
So
I called
Deity
it
and
my
I,
deity.
So Deity
we
and I.
went way really far back, and I don't know if I have like an undiscovered like illness or something when I was little, but it got all torn up, right?
Oh, really?
And I don't know why, but I would start to take the end of it and I would like twist it into a big long thing, and I would like stick it down in my ear, like deep.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
You okay?
I have no clue if there's a psychologist out there. I want to know what childhood trauma led me to feel that I needed the security of something in my ear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least it wasn't.
Yeah. You
The things
coulda
that
went-
come
you
for
coulda went
kids are
nose,
it's
you coulda went-
crazy.
Yeah, but it was called Deity. Carried around all the time. Threw up on it a few times too.
Oh,
Couldn't
geez.
sleep without it. I actually still have it to this day, and I can tell you exactly where it is. But it's in a bag, all zipped up. And a few years ago, I took it out and I stuck it in my ear. It wasn't the same.
Yeah, I would say
What did you
that's,
marry into, Melina?
The smell.
I
so
know
scared.
it's really
I have
weird.
seen the bag. I didn't know he
It's-
opened the bag.
I have no explanation.
It
It's
has a unique smell.
it's
too.
really weird, and I'm sorry.
You should be.
Hey, it's okay.
Yep.
That's right, man.
Shout out to Deity.
Deity, we love you, man. Deity, Blue Bear,
May you rest in peace.
Barney with the butt flap, Wax.
Yeah,
Eric is a big Wax guy.
Apparently,
I
so
think
was Logan.
mine was cooler though. It sounds like
That
you
is
guys
cool.
had some weird
Yeah.
things.
What the heck
Eric's-
is not cool about Deity?
Eric's
Yeah, dude.
Eric's wax was better than Logan's wax.
Yeah.
This was on his diety.
Yeah, I had wax involved too. Dude, I know it's weird, but dude, something about it. That thrill.
That throw getting something in your ear, a little.
That thrill when you get it to touching like you're past
brain?
you're past the eardrum.
When you tickle the eardrum.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You do that a lot?
No, dude. I do have a question though. Whenever you guys use cotton swabs on your ears, do you guys cough really bad?
No.
No,
That's just
You
me,
do?
man.
No.
Yeah, dude. The other day I was cleaning out my ears.
you don't
which-
clean enough.
I know you're not supposed to put them all the way in, but I get deep. Like, I'm like,
How
I
much
might-
wax do you get when you put
Not
it
a
that
ton
deep?
because I clean my ears a lot. But every
Oh.
single time I get a certain
You just
spot,
said I don't do it
and
that
I'm like-
often.
I just cough bad.
If you do it wrong, get the wrong spot, it will. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
Ryan's
it was-
It is all
cough
connected.
reflex.
Ryan's
Maybe
got like a
there's
bunch of
one that will make you like jump up and down.
And then
or
when I use my
something.
right ear, if I get a certain spot, I poop my pants. And so that
Ryan's
happens.
got a bunch of factory issues.
Yeah, I think I factory reset myself every time I clean my ears.
Factory defect.
See,
Yeah.
I'm really big at cleaning my ears. I'll clean my ears every morning, and
Yeah.
and I
Every morning. Wow.
I do it all the time.
Squeaky clean.
But
Can
But I get
can
it with
a
the
close up
kids.
in that canal?
I get with the kids now. The kids want me to clean their ears all the
I
time,
thought you said kittens.
and I got like little tools. I got little tools to do it, and then I even got one that has a camera that hooks up to your phone and stuff
Ooh.
like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
you go into your ear?
Yeah, you
I've
take
watched
the little
those videos
device in
on
there.
Snapchat.
I
Wow.
don't know what happened.
That's
I don't know if
kinda
the kids
satisfying.
moved or what. I can't
What
find
are you
it.
trying
But,
to do? Find a stud in there?
oh, but it's so satisfying. Not only to clean your own ears, but it's weird. I get satisfied cleaning the kids' ears. out.
So, you know,
Ooh.
maybe Deity was for you.
Yeah, dude,
no,
you
that's
would've
not
loved
cleaning
Deity.
your ears out. I don't know what that is, Logan.
Adam,
That's
I
not
would
the same
love
thing.
for you to clean my ears.
I don't know. About
I'll let
the
you
ears.
clean
come
my
on.
ears
Do you know how
tomorrow
much
at 9
closer
a.m.?
that make us? Next time we go to the gym, bring your cotton swabs. Trust me.
You
I have a headlamp
you
and
get a
metal
job
tools.
doing that.
Dude, I'll hit smelling salts. You're cleaning out my ears. I can't think of anything else.
Dude.
that
If
would,
that gets you to go to the gym, I'll
that'll
do
factory
it.
reset me.
What's Adam's toy? What do you like?
So is this a toy that you just always played with, or just that you had?
No,
Yeah,
you,
I think
it
it's
was
that-
really
you had a
important
special
to you.
connection.
I think
to
we're
One
more.
that
I think the
stands
topic
out.
is more of like, what was your item of security when
yeah,
you were
your
little?
comfort.
Oh,
yeah,
I
your
didn't know
comfort
that.
thing.
I didn't really have.
Yeah,
a
that's why we were thrown off when you
security.
started talking about your wax cars.
Well, I thought you said toys. I thought
No,
that's-
no, I'm
That
totally
is-
joking
that
with
is
you.
what he said,
That's,
Eric.
we're
It
talking
wasn't
about- we're
phrased
you
talking
well.
answered the assignment correctly.
Yeah, you did great.
I had tons of toys, but just funny talking about kind of creepy and stuffed animals. But you ever saw a Teddy Ruxpin?
Nope.
A Teddy Ruxpin?
Yeah, they talk.
Oh,
Did
that's
Did they
creepy.
have? Was it the one that had the cassette?
Yep.
In the back?
You put the cassette in the back, and it would read and tell you the story,
And it would change its facial.
and it would blink, and its mouth would move.
yeah,
You want to talk about creepy?
like
Uh-huh.
animatronics.
That
It's
is
like
something that
this.
sticks
How
out.
do you
My,
spell this?
Teddy Ruxpin.
Why don't you pull it up on the feed?
Yeah, Jamie.
Quick.
That's
call.
giving like
So-
Chuck E. Cheese, but a smaller version,
That's
and that's kind of
exactly-
terrifying.
That's exactly what I was thinking
It's
about.
still.
Yo,
It's still.
Logan. Froggy Flips bought one of these.
Yep.
It's it's
You
still.
watch Froggy Flips?
No.
It's still. My parents still in the.
He's got the great Xenia toy show. We should go.
We should, dude. We should get him on the podcast.
Yep. That guy was different.
Yeah, he's
He
possessed.
just has horrible language.
It's kind of scary.
It was
the
interesting.
f-
I wonder what. I guess all the data was on the tape too, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Like the
yeah.
tape to-
The data's on the tape.
I wish I knew
And-
the
and it
assignment
really
could have
just-
been toys. I
it's
never
just-
would have shared Deity.
It moved.
Did you know that too? That some video games were actually on tape recorders. Like
I
back
didn't
in the
know
day?
that. I think
You'd have to wait for the whole tape to go through the loaded game.
you know that Dragon's Lair game that's really used to
Yeah.
be really popular. I
That was
remember
Laserdisc.
that was Laserdisc. Yeah.
Yep.
Adam, is this your
There's
is
a
this your
whole
answer?
series of games on
Is
it.
that the one you had, Adam?
Well, I mean, they're popular.
It's
That's
wearing a
what it
flak
was.
It's
jacket.
kind of terrifying if it would start
It's
moving.
a Horcrux. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really hard in the back.
Yeah.
I
Wait,
think
Yeah.
what? Go
My
back to
sister-
the one with
What
the
are they
blue
doing?
eyes.
Whoa.
Why are
I
the
don't-
eyes glowing? Oh, jeez.
These
That's
are
not the
different
one
weird
Matt
ones.
had.
These have been
Blue-eyed Teddy
moved.
Rexman.
But see, you
Rexman?
you would have the book
yeah.
and the tape so you could read along
My
as it's
sister
telling
had
you the story.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good answer.
That's just a one that sticks out to me. That's creepy, and
How many tapes or books did you have?
I don't remember. I didn't really use it because it creeped me out.
For you not being a big zombie guy, this isn't something that needed to be in
Adam
your house.
cried every
I
time.
wasn't
he
a
used it.
zombie guy then. I didn't know anything about it back then, but
What about you, Melina?
I had two that I can think of. The one was, I think I also got this when I was born because we live near, or I grew up near like the Sesame Place, like amusement park.
The
What's-
street?
Yes. No.
Oh.
Like the whatever the park's called, like the amusement park. It's in Pennsylvania.
What was Oscar the Grouch like?
Oh, I don't know. Well, I didn't meet them, unfortunately.
I want to meet the count.
Just keep going.
But I had like a big bird. Like someone had gone there or something and gotten me like a little big bird like stuffed animal. And so I remember liking that one a lot. I have no clue where it is now, but I know that I
I
would.
had a big bird stuff.
Really?
Too. Yeah.
I was
didn't-
not
wasn't a
one
big
to
fan,
like.
You didn't have a
lizards?
Stuffalophagus?
though. The lizards.
Remember that? Stuffalophagus?
you
The
can't
big
even
chicken.
say
I
it.
can't even say it. Stuffalophagus.
Stuffalophagus.
The big dog.
But I wasn't one to like cuddle
Big dog.
stuffed animals when I was younger. I would just like shove them under the sheets. Like I would have my parents, like when I was really young, like tuck me in.
And then you.
And then I would shove them into the tucked part
You
in
Dutch
between the
oven 'em?
mattress and the tucked because I was like, they have to be warm. Like I didn't actually want them to touch me, but I
Ah.
was like, they have to be in the bed. So I would like put them in between and they would like stay
I love
warm.
how you're like
I
shoving them in. Like,
because I would put them like in between so they were like nice
Yeah.
and tight in there.
Yeah.
But there was one more I can't remember, but I remember the big bird. But then I also had all of my mom's old Barbies from when she was younger.
Ooh.
That's
And I specifically
scary.
remember the
That's
Ken
scary.
doll, and I loved it because it was just the only boy, so it stuck out.
Whoa.
But the head would always pop off,
Oh.
so it was like stuck, and you would kind of stick it on. And I had tape all around it,
it's
but
not
then
much different than Logan.
then I lost the head. But then I found it, and I remember
roasted.
our carpet was getting pulled up on one end, and I shoved the head underneath our carpet, and I had
What
a
was
funeral
wrong
for
with
it.
you? Respectfully.
I had,
How's
it
your
was the
sleeping
funeral.
arrangement? Are you allowed to touch it?
No,
Yeah,
I've been
how-
wondering why
Are
I've
you
been.
like
Oh.
tucked in the blanket?
I've
Like
been
you're
wondering
tight?
why I've been tucking in these animals like they have to be warm.
Can you
Hey,
imagine?
Logan, before you go to bed, can you shove this teddy bear into the sheets so he's warm?
No, that stopped a while ago.
Hey, why is there a Ken doll under our carpet? And why are you wearing all black? Is it a funeral?
I did have a funeral, and then my mom never bought me another Ken doll, and I was really
I don't
sad
blame
about
her.
it.
Dude,
Surprised
that's
she let you hang out with people.
So, since
Do the laugh, Corey.
I can't even do it as well right now.
Yeah.
Since we all kind of mentioned stuffed animals for a brief second,
Except for
you
Eric.
guys did you guys have Webkins?
Yes.
Ooh, yeah. I
Was
can name
that-
you.
I had a
half of mine.
frog.
I had so many Webkins. I had.
I had a big dinosaur.
I'll just
guy.
list. I had bamboo. Had French fry. Had Duke.
Nat Wolf lover.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So
no idea.
Webkins were stuffed animals that you could buy, and then they came with a code, and there was a website. So when you went to the website,
So good.
you
Were you a
created, you got
Webkin
like
girl?
Oh yeah.
you got an account, and then
And
your
Club
every
Penguin.
Webkin you had, like they got a house, so you could like build their house, and then for free you could like earn points playing games to like get furniture and stuff to decorate their house. So it's kind of like The Sims but for little kids. And I remember you could play games with other people online, but you couldn't talk to them.
Yeah.
So it was like there was like preset things like you're doing a good job or whatever, but you couldn't like chat with people. But I remember I would get on there and you could play checkers online, and I would play checkers all the time to earn
Dude.
points. So
That
yeah,
was
I
so
just-
fun.
I forgot about the
Webkins
Webkins.
was-
Me too.
That was huge. Like I remember, they would like sell out when they released, and it was sick.
It was. Didn't like a hacker come and
Yeah. Well,
Someone
the
took over
website-
Club Penguin.
I feel like
The
was it
website
Club
got
Penguin
shut
or
down,
Webkins? Someone like
and
took over. It was
so
terrifying.
Everyone that had those accounts, they're gone now.
So sad.
Yeah.
All their identities have been stolen.
Yeah.
But you had to. Did
Rest
you
in
have to like
peace.
keep going on, or like you would lose progress, or it would lock, or something would happen?
Yeah.
It like kept you. You had. I remember just being like, I have to
I
go
think
on
you-
today.
I think you had to feed them. I think you like
yes,
you had to
probably.
log in, and it was like whatever animal you had. Once you bought the animal, there was like a sealed thing that you opened up that had a code, and when you entered the code, that animal was digitally like in your house.
I think everyone.
So
I think
there was
everyone had a webkin.
yeah, I know I had 2 snakes. I had a tiger.
Wait.
Like
Wait.
what?
You bought 2 snakes?
There were different snakes.
Oh.
There were
Different
different.
type
They
of
were
snake.
different
I'm
types.
sorry.
One was like a garden snake and it was green.
I had a snake
and
too.
one
It
was
was like
orange.
I think that's one I had.
Yeah, and they were.
Wait, you can't have 2 snakes? I mean, like Pokemon, you can't
Yeah.
have 2 snakes?
No,
What?
I think it's funny
But-
that he doubled up on the snakes.
But I think you had to like.
He really likes snakes.
I guess.
I think once you uploaded them into your house, it was almost like you had to log on every so often and feed them, or they disappeared.
No,
Yeah.
dude. The
Yes,
webkin.
Yes,
it was
it was-
something like that because I remember feeling the stress of like if we'd be out of town or something. I was like, as soon as I got back, I was like, I have to go into Webkins.
I remember giving my friend Ben my Webkins account when I went on vacation one time so he could feed my Webkins.
It's like it's like the
I
pre
think
to
that they're-
Snapchat streaks, like giving someone.
I don't
your-
think they died. I
this
think
is-
that they just got like unhappy. But I remember the exclusive items or
Yeah,
what
I
was
think
super
that's what I was
popular.
It's like a
after.
Tamagotchi.
Yeah, basically, like you had to go on it, go
I
on
had
there,
those.
feed it, and then there each one had like different things that they wanted. So like it would
'Cause
say
you could buy different
it-
things.
it,
I think.
it wanted.
The snakes just wanted Corey.
Well, it was basically like their, it was like their biome. So like if you had like a tropical animal, there were things you could buy for your house that were tropical, and it would like if you bought those things, the animal would be happier.
Yeah.
So it was a whole experience.
It was so fun.
That was a core memory that was just unlocked here.
Dude, Corey knew his Webkins. I
He
didn't know about
did.
the
I don't
biome
remember
thing.
their names. I bet Katie was big into Webkins. I bet she would know some of their names.
You can't remember your snakes' names?
No. I don't.
Slithery
I
and
can't.
I
Slippy.
can't remember my name either. I'm kind of jealous you guys all had more than one.
It's a slippery.
My parents
little
bought me one.
snake.
They said, "Go."
I think
You go.
I probably had
Thinking-
12 at one point. Yeah.
How'd
We
you
were
keep
rich.
them all up?
I
We
didn't.
own that platform.
They're gone. They're dead.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Corey snakes. Ate all of them. Snakes. Well, shoot. How long have we been going at him?
Oh,
2
like
hours.
an hour and 44 minutes, 43
That's-
minutes.
That's pretty good.
Wow.
No one's
bad.
going to watch this
Hey,
podcast.
It's good. Yeah, they will. They will. Melita already posted on our Instagram. Did you post that or
did.
did you post that?
I sent her an invite. She hasn't done it yet, but I did it.
Get on there.
Oh, okay.
Hey, it is good to be back.
I'm trying to get it all running again. It's not
Yeah, I
winking.
think I'm going to have to run to the bathroom after this.
Cool. Well, Eric, I was
The
going to ask.
Krabby
Krabby
Patty.
Patties.
Yeah,
Take
the
it
It
in.
Krabby
made,
Patty.
it made your stomach feel a little
Yeah.
crabby.
Don't recommend the Krabby Patty.
Hey,
stomach's
let's
getting
send a
more
mic
crabby.
in there with them.
Eric,
Cool record.
Eric, would you mainly because I forgot, because it's been a while since I've done this podcast. Would you like to share a little verse to close us out, or maybe a little recap of your message today?
Yeah, I'll talk about Mark chapter 12 and talk about the vineyard.
Yeah.
I think that's just a powerful illustration, a parable that Jesus shares about the fact that, Israel was established by God, and they were called to be the light of the world. And God put his whole heart into making this great nation, and yet God sent prophets to warn the nation of Israel time and time again. And what happened to them? They got beaten. They got killed. They got in shameful displays at times. And as you read that parable, you see how God has constantly been trying to reach his people,
Yeah.
and they constantly reject him. And then finally, he sends his son.
Yeah.
And what do they do to him? They cast him out and have
Yeah.
him crucified. And so, God will always care about us and love us, but there is a judgment day coming. And so what are we going to do about, Jesus coming back? And of course, each one of us, God's, from my viewpoint, I think a lot of our viewpoints would be that, there's a reason why we exist in this place. It's not random. It's not, there's a purpose to life, and there's a purpose to what we've been given, and what are you doing with it?
Yeah.
And at some point, the rent's due.
Yeah.
And
That's
so what are you
that's a good way
going to
to
do
put
with that?
the rent's
So
due.
is that good? Mark chapter 12.
Dude.
Good
That's
stuff.
That is good. Man, it's good to be back. This is fun.
Yeah.
I'm
Missed you guys.
I'm still getting used to it.
I haven't even seen
I feel like
Corey
I'm
for like
so-
a year because he
I know.
doesn't. Well, I seen him at the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not a place where you really want to see friends.
That's
Aw.
true. Corey's like the Grim Reaper
I
now.
mean, he showed me his office though.
I did.
If you see
Yeah.
Corey, you're
It's
like,
even better now. I put LEDs in
Ooh.
last week.
You
I'll
did
have to
not.
look.
I did.
Ooh.
Dude.
I did. I One of my friends got me LED strips a long time ago.
Uh-huh.
I kind of forgot about them. I was
Yeah.
cleaning out my old desk and I found them and I was like, I'm going to take these to work.
Yeah.
So I wrapped around the outside of my desk so it lights up like behind my computer and everything. The
It's
other
nothing
day.
like having something that you've had in the wings for a while, and then all of a sudden you're like, hey, I got a purpose for this stuff.
Yeah.
So good.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm sure it brings a little bit of light to your day.
Dude, I feel like we need to encourage our listeners to send in some topics, right?
Yeah, send us in some topics.
Yeah.
Send us
Have we
in
ever
some,
got any response from those requests?
Yeah, the one guy I talked to at Home Depot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Did he
actually
throw
is
out
cool.
a topic, or
You know
did he
what's
just
crazy is
complain
that
about us?
we
No, it's not
finally-
for him because it's too godly. He's an
Yeah,
atheist.
We
Too
were
godly.
asking for outward for outward engagement for so long, and it's been sitting in our DMs for like 3 years.
Oh, I've seen it before.
Dude, that's a
Like,
miss though, because he said he was an atheist too. So that's
Yeah.
sad. The
Hey.
fact that we left him on red,
Yeah.
man.
It was Facebook, so we left them on blue.
Hey, if you're still
hey,
out there,
I was proud of you though for witnessing to him.
Yeah, that's cool.
You planted a seed,
Yeah.
and it's up to him to choose.
I
what he does
appreciate
with
that.
it.
Well, that's the beauty of evangelism's a lot easier when you can point to a resource so they know that there's
Yeah.
kind of like a hook and then
Remember your
Good thing you
t-shirt
didn't
idea?
put in the brush buddies because that wouldn't have lasted.
Brush
Oh,
Buddies.
is that what it was called?
Brush Buddies. We
I thought it was
always
called Brush
ended.
Bros.
We always ended on a. We ended on scripture.
Oh, that's
All right.
cool.
You
It was
what's-
good while it
You
lasted.
know what other podcast did that first? This one.
Oh, no.
No, I'm kidding. Brush Buddies was cool. I listened to 2 of the episodes. How many were there? 5?
Yeah, I think there's 5. I'm
Oh, you
starting to.
actually recorded an episode? I thought you guys were just practicing.
Dude, you are the
Eric's
worst
so
supporter.
behind.
and where did you get the equipment?
Hey, they had a really cool Instagram post.
We use your microphones.
You use it
Yeah, their
almost
Instagram
90%.
graphic was really
and then
cool.
okay, so we used your microphones,
And we didn't get
then
them
we
back
couldn't
for, like,
figure
a
out
year.
We kept getting a buzz out of the board, so then we actually bought a Behringer
There's a bumblebee
thing.
in
I
it.
still have it,
Yeah.
and that's what Melina and I are going to use to start our podcast.
Eric liked that.
Oh.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Are we hard launching it on?
You guys are on a podcast?
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, we've talked about it.
Oh, what's it called?
it's called
Fantasy.
Brush Wife,
Brush,
Brush Babes.
I thought it'd be fantasy, like
Brush
called-
Babies.
Sheila.
Brush
Sheila. It's called
It's called
Derek.
Sheila.
I thought it was gonna be a podcast about the fantasy things that you guys are watching right now.
Dude, I'd love to explore
We're gonna have
More
more
of-
episodes.
that
I
stuff.
thought it would be like Lord of the Marriage.
Dude, I would love to talk about Lord of the Rings because I feel like I know Dan has always been known as like the Lord of the Rings
You-
guy, and I feel like I could finally talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
know a lot now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we're gonna get Dan back on here. We're gonna get, but yeah, who knows? We're gonna record the next one, but it'll
3
happen.
years from now.
We've officially torn off the bandage, and the blood is flowing.
What? How much time was?
where are you going?
Yeah.
How
man?
much time was it between the one that you did last time and the one that
Literally
you
a
did the
year.
time before that?
Let me look really quick, and then we'll end. The last stretch,
So it's
Was-
been a year since this.
we had the Marvel movie draft, which was episode 70.
Dude, I
and
like doing the
then-
drafts.
So that was released
Wait
in
long enough, we
August
can just do a real life
27th.
draft.
And then after that, the next one was November 15th. And then it has been almost a year.
Wow.
So, but hey, if you guys are nice and you guys are good, we might be getting you 2 episodes in a year.
Maybe we
I
could
think
do
the
a-
next one might be,
Maybe we could do a Christmas
it
special.
might be a Christmas one. It might,
Maybe we could go back to our debate of Nightmare Before Christmas.
I don't know if I'm
What
ready for
was
that,
the
Eric.
original cadence though? Was every other week?
We had a cadence.
I thought it was like every other week, right?
Yeah, I think we did it every. I think we tried to do
It was
once a week.
every
There-
week for a while because
it
we
was-
would record like 2 in one day.
Well, that was COVID time too.
Yeah,
like,
man, those
we
were the
didn't have
days.
anything.
Looking back,
Dude,
on
I
that.
think you guys should really strive for every other week. I would do it in a heartbeat, but
At
obviously
least once a month.
it's really
Yeah.
hard for me.
once a month is doable for sure. Yeah.
He says that. We'll see what happens.
Hey. You
All right,
guys-
let's wrap this bad boy
Yeah.
up.
Thanks
I
for
don't want to.
having me.
Let's
I
go
gotta
into
go
another.
to do number 2.
Yeah, Eric's got to poop out his Krabby Patty. But guys, thanks for being here. Good to be back. Getting the rust off the hinges, but we're glad
Yeah.
you're here.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching More Dilemma.
Yeah, thank you.
I love
Peace
you.
out.
Logan loves you. Eric loves you. Melina loves you. Corey loves you. Adam
Fathom
is indifferent
Arnsworth.
about you, but we're trying to get him to love you.
Are you talking about Adam or Fathom?
Adam.
The
Fathom
Lord can
loves
change
them.
anyone's heart.
The Lord can change anyone's heart. Corey had 2 snake webkins. We love you.
Peace.
Deuces.
Peace.
Yeah, we have Sabrina Carpenter in the studio.
Dude, we're supposed to be done.
I'm
Cut it.